This should be played at high volume.
This is the podcast of beats, and their whole team is complete. They feeding the streets, other people can't compete. Shit, you got Carlo, got Kenny, got Papa, got Uncle. You cannot forget Malik, and you got Ski. Yeah, the whole roster elite. They bringing the heat every week.
Welcome back. This is the same convo with the same host, Kenny, Carlil, and Bomba. And today we got a very special guest. Was definitely looking forward for him to coming on the show today. Shout out to our boy Vert. How you doing, dog?
Man, I'm glad to be here. What up, gang? What up, guys? Let's go.
Let's go. So we all, as we know, you're a social media presence as well. So before we get started, real quick, if you want to tell everybody where they can find you at, and also just what you do, as far as your everyday social media.
Everybody can follow me at One Vert Willer on all the platforms, man. I stream, I make content, I make music. I'm just a good guy all around, man. I'm ready to have a passionate debate about this Dragon Ball Z, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, let's get to it then. So before we actually get into the questions of the day, again, we talk about Dragon Ball Z a lot on this podcast because we got some fans on here. But before we get into it, I need to know who your favorite character is of all time and why.
I ain't gonna lie. Easy question for me. Future Trunks, bro. Future Trunks literally has the heart of a lion. He came to save the whole series, bro. Like Future Trunks, that guy.
Facts.
Easy. No, hands down.
Facts. Would you also agree that Future Trunks has one of the best fits in anime overall?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. He introduced animated streetwear. You see what he did? Bro, he had the sword. Like, we still look like Future Trunks today, 30-some years later, bro. Like,
Facts.
Bro, streetwear, Future Trunks, synonymous.
I'm a definitely attribute it to the streetwear majority of Future Trunks, but I ain't gonna lie. Android 17 too. He definitely had that shit on as well.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
With that bandana?
Yeah, with the bandana, he had some green socks? I don't know. The fit's crazy.
Yeah.
But
timeless.
Getting into it, we're gonna start with some character-based questions. So we just talked about your favorite character. Overall, who do you think is the most complete character in Dragon Ball Z? We're talking about their development. We talking about their story arc, power progression, emotional, most complete character. I'm gonna start off with you, but this is a question for the whole pod.
You know what? I'm sorry to say, Future Trunks, most complete character in Dragon Ball Z. Okay. I would say, I ain't gonna lie, Future Trunks literally had the hope. Like, you see what he did? He literally came back to save the timeline. He literally had nothing there. The timeline was gone. He had no hope. And then came back to the other timeline to save the day. And he never wastes time with any enemy. Like, Future Trunks, I feel like the most complete character arc just in general.
Okay. Bomba, what about you? What you think?
Man, I think there is only one right answer with this one, and that's Piccolo. You feel me? I feel like if you're looking for a character that has everything, whether that's fighting talent, compassion, wisdom, and IQ, Piccolo is the one that has that. And we saw like how he started, one of the most evil niggas through the series, but look at him today.
That nigga was born into evil. Like, he was literally born to be evil. Like, it's crazy. Kenny?
Bomba stole my answer.
He stole your answer.
I was gonna say Piccolo. I was definitely gonna say Piccolo.
For all the same reasons?
Yeah, but I was going back and forth on is that Piccolo kind of get the Vegeta treatment where he never wins a fight. But it's all right. It's okay because he tries his best.
I will say he gets his just dues whenever it's time to fight any of the side villains. Whenever the villains pull up and they got their people with them, he always come and deliver. But when it's time to fight the main villain, he getting tossed. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, you know where his most dubs come from? The movies. That's where they
move
from.
Hey, Piccolo in the movies, one, he's the biggest aura farmer. And please do not bring your homies with you because all your homies is getting knocked off. real quick.
Oh, with.
If I had to pick mine, I'm not gonna lie to you. Piccolo was in my brain. I ain't gonna cap to you. Uh, I was thinking about Krillin. Just looking at where he started. Um, I feel like an obvious answer would be Vegeta. That's a lot of people. That would be a lot of people's answer for this one. But
Right.
I'm gonna go another way. I'm gonna say that boy Yamcha.
Nigga, what?
And get the fuck out of here.
Don't you
Not-
hate
not-
when niggas just want to be different?
Look. Hear me out though.
Right.
It was a
You better have
point.
the reason.
There's never been a point where Yamcha. There's never been a point in the anime, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, where Yamcha, forgets who he is. Yamcha is very self-aware of who he is, you dog. He is very
Okay.
self-aware.
Yeah, but
What do you mean, Cap? What do you mean, Cap? Give me an example.
wait, he didn't forget who he is. Then this nigga
Give me an example. Give me an example.
he started simping mid-battle. What are you talking about?
You said what?
He started simping mid-battle.
What do you mean? That's him. What you mean? I'm just saying.
Cherry.
It takes a lot to realize later in your fighting career. Like, I see how my friends are progressing. I see the threats.
Nah, we ain't hearing that.
I said, hold on. I see the threats
That's
that we
crazy.
are introduced to. Every every few years. You feel me? Like, I think this isn't for me anymore. I'm gonna go play baseball. That's for me.
Wait, no.
Nobody-
Why Krillin ain't do that? Krillin human.
Krillin became a police officer.
Wait, what is he now?
I mean, they recruited him to fight in the
A good
tournament of
dad.
power, but he's still a police officer.
Why Yamcha couldn't train like Krillin?
You said what?
Why Yamcha couldn't train like Krillin?
It wasn't for Yamcha. He knew that. Like I said, what did I say? What did I say at the beginning? What did I say at the beginning of this? That man's self-aware. He realized I can't keep up. I necessarily don't even want to keep up. It's like an NBA player when they reach their time, in the NBA. You always hear the interviews. I mentally can't go through training camp anymore. I mentally can't do this no more. Like I just can't do it. I'm not. He fell out of love with fighting. You feel me? And personally, he wasn't a fighter to begin with. He used that as a positive influence to join the Z Fighters and join the Turtle School. But before he was introduced, when he was introduced, what was he? A bandit. That man knew what he was, a bandit, and he was really good at being a bandit.
So was Tien.
Tien wasn't a bandit.
He was a bad guy. Who was
He was a bad
He
guy.
wasn't I was saying a bandit.
What I'm saying is
What
once,
is you saying?
once,
You don't
once
know
he
that.
got his girl stole, it was over with for him.
I don't.
Nah, I hate Carlo because he gonna use facts that you can't really argue, but the facts don't make sense. He's a bandit. He was a fucking martial artist. That nigga was dedicated to that shit. He knew every single martial art. He seen the Kamehameha. He was the only nigga that knew it. Come on, bro.
Did I? I didn't refute that. I didn't
I
refute
know
that.
what you're saying. That when Great Kitty's telling you that he's a martial artist, you say he's a bandit. He wasn't dedicated.
I said, what was he
Fuck outta
introduced?
here.
I said, what was he introduced as? He was introduced as a bandit. Not.
Shut up.
I'm saying, like you trying to say I'm contradicting myself when I'm really not. You feel me?
I didn't say you contradict. I'm telling you, picking that facts, the niggas can't argue. However, the facts don't make sense. Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
Why he not a bandit no more then? He
the facts
baseball
don't
now.
the facts don't make sense to y'all because y'all don't like Yamcha, and I understand that. You feel me?
Shut up.
He gave up a little bit too fast. I ain't gonna lie. He hit that Yamcha pose. I feel like that changed his mental. Once he came back, he was different after that.
I'm saying he realized, yeah, this not for me. this not for me. But look, I don't want to get criticized for my pick, but that's my pick. And yes, Kenny, I was trying to be different. Question number 2: if you could rewrite one character's arc, who would it be and why? And
The arc.
yeah, Kenny, I'll start with you on this one.
So if you say arc, what that'd be like the androids. Would that be Boo?
Not a story arc, a character arc. You feel me?
Gohan. Super Saiyan Man will never exist. Super Saiyan Man will never exist. I swear to God, that would never be a thing.
You don't fuck with Great Saiyan, man?
No.
Talk about the world-renowned superhero.
Right.
No.
He helps the
statue built
people.
and straight out of
I don't get how you go from running away from your tutor, not wanting to be in the books for real. So, oh, I'm a scholar now. No.
Your mom was hard work. What are you talking about?
You know how much stronger Gohan would be if you would actually have trained in that gap between the Cell Saga and the Buu Saga?
Yeah,
Facts.
Beast would have been here a whole lot quicker.
That's what I'm
Ooh.
saying, bro. Like Goku already had acknowledged that he was stronger than him when he was like 13.
Mm.
This man would have gotten that hyperbolic time chamber and was, doing some push-ups. So yeah, I'm going with Gohan for sure.
All right, Vert, what about you, man?
Mr. Popo.
Really,
Ooh.
really, that's different. Why, Mr. Popo?
I feel like Mr. Popo was around every climactic battle in every situation. He's literally, Kami's best man. And I feel like
Facts.
he definitely had the opportunity to do so much more, or at least been in position to do so much more. And I feel like he could have. Even like we seen burst of peak Mr. Popo when he had held Go Tanks. Like he held both of them back at the same time. I was like,
Facts.
Mr. Popo, where you been? Mr. Popo,
Facts.
jump in that fight. Jump in that fight, bro. The world is in the balance, bro. So I feel like Mr. Popo deserves a real rewrite for sure.
It's like when you say that too, you definitely got to think about because you realize like Mr. Popo, he said it himself. He has served every single Earth Guardian that there has been. So he has to have some interesting backstory, you feel me? That make because again, like holding back Super Saiyan Goten and Super Saiyan Trunks is no small feat, you feel me? Like
Yeah.
these are Super Saiyans. You feel me? So as inexperienced as
That's a
they are.
crazier
So
feat.
you said what, Bumba?
I said he has a crazier feat than that. Ever since the Kamehameha was introduced, everybody was running away from it. This man was the first man to eat one. Like literally ate a Kamehameha,
Hey,
and I'm like, what?
When was this?
This
he a
man ate one, bro.
Kamehameha.
Was that on
That's
Dragon Ball
insane.
GT?
No, it's not GT. It's an earlier episode.
That's wild. See, shout out Mr. Popo. Like,
Shout out
like
Mr.
he's
Popo, cuz.
secret powers, bro.
I don't know. Bomba, what about you?
Wait. I got a question. What is Mr. Popo?
He's a
You know he's from the demon realm. That's just about it.
He's a
The point to
demon?
eat. Yeah, it's from the
Demon.
demon realm.
Oh, okay.
However, as far as the recipe, not too sure. Some people have been saying genies and everything, but as of today, don't know.
yeah, the last
Mm.
thing I heard was a genie. But
Hmm.
Daima confirmed he was from the demon realm.
Pointy
Yeah.
ears.
But
But
all
my
right.
pick, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say go ahead.
Yeah, my pick. I mean, I got the same one as Kenny. However, like just the difference I think I see, the possibility I see of Gohan's growth, I feel like would have been something similar to the BoJack movie. You feel me? Where he
Mm.
kind of forgot a little bit because just by Gohan's nature, he kind of forgot a little bit who he had unlocked himself as, and then you have Goku kind of breaking the celestial all coming into intervening and then giving you a pep talk, building you back up. I would have loved to seen the growth from there. And personally, I don't think that we would have seen Beast go on if Gohan grew from there because he's just like the strongest that you were. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have loved to see him grow from that point on, like with SS2. And I just feel like the threats
Mm.
are just not going to develop to where we even need to see Ultimate go on yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I rock with that. I rock with that. I think I'm a take a little from Vert, and instead of Mr. Popo though, I would say Dende. I would say
Mm.
Dende because I feel like as you are the guardian of Earth. Like we've seen Kami in a few fights, whether that be Ball, whether that be the movies and Z, we've seen
Mm.
him scrap just a little bit, and so it seeing that told me that there's more than just you know, watching what's about to happen and then trying to get the Z fighters to come and solve that issue. I feel like as a guardian of Earth, there should have been more, actual training that he would have went through, whether that be with Mister and combat training that he went through, whether that be with Mister Popo or even Piccolo. You feel me?
Mm.
To mature his growth so he could be, even so he can be more involved within the story, but also in a my only gripe about Dragon Ball is I feel like when it's time to fight for the Earth or when it's time to go fight for, people outside the Earth, there's not enough fighters. You feel me? It's gotten to a point where it's really just hinging on the success of Goku or Vegeta. You feel me? So I feel like him having a better character arc where some combat is involved, it would have been a lot better for him.
I feel like with Diamond, they kind of got to do that now. They realize the people might come after Dende.
Facts.
Right.
Like he's the guardian of the Earth. Like him just standing on the tower, it has to be more to it than that. Like if you're the guardian of Earth, there should be some stakes that come with that. Now the Dragon Balls, those are some stakes, but it should be even more. You feel me?
Right.
Moving on to the next one. Who's the most underrated Dragon Ball Z character of all time?
Oh, that's easy.
If it's easy, go ahead, start.
That boy Tien.
Now, I think I rock with Kenny.
I feel like Tien don't get his flowers.
I think I rock with Kenny again, dog.
What you said about his powers?
You said what?
What'd you say?
I said I feel like people don't respect his powers for like this man can like clone himself. Like, he's a regular human.
Yeah.
He got like abilities.
Technique. He beat Goku. He's beating Goku. He held down semi-perfect Cell. You feel me?
That man was doing work in the tournament of power too.
That's a feat in his own. He stepped up when the Earth was about to be destroyed. They were moving everybody. This man, one of the men that stepped up against Super Buu. Like he was ready to scrap. You feel me?
He always ready to fight for sure.
Always ready to fight. I ain't gonna lie to you. My answer is going with Kenny on this one. I'm gonna go with Tien.
Okay.
Bomba, go ahead, give me yours.
So mine is a little bit of a gag, but take me seriously because I think that he does deserve some praise. I was thinking of Mr. Satan. You feel me? I understand that he's just meant to be laughed at and all of that, but think about every single time that this man has actually saved us. The little bit of we saw that from Majin Buu was him. He convinced that nigga to conquer the fear, approach the nigga. Yo, eating people ain't good. Let me teach you that. And I actually started to reason about him. If the people didn't get involved, then like literally, Mr. Satan would have saved the world. He would have saved the world. Vegeta wouldn't be dead. None of them niggas would have been dead because of Mr. Satan. And then you have imagine Kid Buu. When Kid Buu is going on a rampage, nobody can stop him. Vegeta's alive, went to fight him, was getting his ass whooped. Mr. Saiyan pull up in that damn, pull out Ultra Instinct, first version of Ultra Instinct. Mr. Saiyan, bro, save the show. Give him his flowers, man.
I'm not giving you that.
You don't have to do that because he did them shits.
I'm not giving
you
that.
He did them shits.
Like he said, he the silent goat.
This is a world martial arts.
What you said? Because he's a world martial arts champion.
I'm saying that's a part of it. Part of his resume. Underrated.
I don't have the
celebrity
energy
for sure.
I don't have the energy yet. I'm gonna have to say that for another one. So I'm gonna let it slide, but I'm not letting you have it.
I'm not letting it slide. That man can't beat Pan.
Okay, she's an alien.
She's 2 years old.
She's an alien. She would have whooped everybody else's ass. What regular human being is beating Pan, Kenny?
10.
Terrible point.
10.
In the garbage.
10.
A regular human being.
He said a regular.
10 is a regular human being.
He got a third eye. That's not regular, nigga.
I bet.
He got
Krillin.
You know, got 3 eyes.
Krillin.
There is actually a
that
theory.
Nigga got dots on his forehead. What regular nigga you know got 3 eyes?
Real quick. I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna end on very. But there is actually a theory that Tien stems from an alien race that settled on Earth. I don't know if y'all seen that theory, but niggas are now arguing that he's not a human, but he's actually an alien.
I feel like it's too late for that.
But I believe
and not a strong alien. That race not that strong.
What do y'all mean?
He said that race ain't
plant or something.
That race ain't got no progression, no potential.
Nah, that race ain't that
Bro,
strong for sure.
y'all seem to forget that to this day, when they selected the tournament of power, the strongest nigga in the universe, it was them.
Facts.
Niggas OP.
Hey, Vert, we gonna end on you. Who's the most underrated Dragon Ball Z character of all
You
time?
know, I like 10. I do understand Mr. Satan a little bit for sure, especially in that Boo saga. He
Yes,
came through
sir.
clutch a couple times. But my pick, Yajirobe.
Mm.
Yajirobe. If no Yajirobe, we don't even get off of Earth. Vegeta literally would have blew up and stomped on the
That's
Earth
that.
as a great ape. If Yajirobe didn't come out with that sword and slice that tail, Dragon Ball what? Dragon Ball done. It's over with. And can't forget Sensu beans. Yajirobe literally was walking around with legendary loot the whole time. He said, "Hey, what? Sensu bean?" Like, bro, Yajirobe. I feel like Yajirobe did what Mr. Satan kind of did way earlier, but in a much more advanced way. Like Yajirobe.
And I
Oh,
will say I will give you that because no, one of the main differences between Yajirobe and Hercule is we used to see Yajirobe scrap. In Dragon Ball,
oh,
that nigga was scrapping.
he beat Goku.
He,
Hercule be scrapping.
who did Hercule fight?
The whole world. He's a world champion.
When did you
World
see that?
champion.
When did
Beat
you
the
see
nigga
that? When
from
did
the
you see
I'm
world.
not
that?
gonna lie. This sounds like some Carlito shit coming out your mouth.
World champion.
What does that
Just
mean?
that Hercule propaganda.
Wait, sound like some Carlos shit. What the
This is
fuck?
what Carlito. This is how Carlito would argue for Hercule. This is what I'm saying. That's what Carlito would say. He was
Man,
making a point for Hercule. He'd be like, he's a world champion. We'd be like, who the fuck did he fight that's an actual comp in that universe?
He fought Android 18. Yeah, he beat Android 18.
I
There
hate
you
this
go.
man. I hate this man. I hate
He
him.
beat Android 18.
Did he
By the
really
name of
win?
somebody.
Did he really
Yes.
beat Android
no,
18?
Yes.
no, he
No, he
didn't.
did not.
Oh, he fucking
Yes.
did. Okay,
By
don't
his own means,
Kenny,
money.
Kenny, don't
But
pay
to pick
attention
up on
to
what
it.
he said about Yajirobe, I just wanted to add about Yajirobe. Yajirobe is a perfect example because whether that's early on in Dragon Ball, no, in Dragon Ball Z or in Super, he's still doing those things. When they were in the future, like no solution, this nigga was pulling up through, still saving these niggas. So I gotta give it to him. I cannot do
Dragging
that.
these niggas on the ground. Like,
Oh God, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
He know how
hey,
to survive. He survived in the future timeline. Androids killed everybody except who? Yajirobe.
and the
That's
thing is,
cold.
niggas was mad at that, but I was like, it makes sense because when you look at the flashbacks when they telling the story in Z, that nigga Yajirobe is nowhere to be shown. So
No,
that
Mhm.
does make sense. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was hyped watching Super and seeing that nigga with a full beard just chilling. Like that
That was a
that
great
was crazy
cameo.
as hell. All right, last question for based questions. Which villain had the best motivation and who was the most intimidating? So this doesn't have to be the same answer. So best motivation can be one villain and intimidating can be another. Or if you had the same one for both, you can definitely do that as well. If I were to go the most intimidating villain to me, I would have to say Super Boo. I thought Super Boo was mad intimidating because again, he wasn't all the way Kid Boo where he was totally out of his mind, but he was also smart enough to come up with strategies and distract people so he himself can continue to get stronger. And it's like it's really if
Mhm.
he's continuing to get stronger like that, there's really nothing that you can do with him. One thing that was crazy about him is when he got to the tower, not only did he kill everybody, but before that, you feel me? He walked around the tower. I can't remember right off the top of my head how they got to this point, but um, you know, every living being on Earth got brought into the conversation, and so he walked over to the end of the tower, walked around the tower, and he counted every human being on Earth, put his hand up, did a genocide blast, and killed every single human being on Earth. If that is not an intimidating feat, I don't know what is. As far as the villain that had the most had the best motivation, to me, I would have to go with Zamasu. You feel me?
Oh,
Because I understood where he was coming from. It was like we have all of these different species that are violent and are killing each other and are just doing it over and they never change. And all we're doing is sitting up here and just watching it. We're not intervening. We're just hoping. Like, what did his master say? Goa say, like, we'll check in again on them in a few hundred years to see how things have changed. Then they did that. Things didn't change. You feel me? Like, so I can understand his frustration because at the end of the day, he just wanted peace. He went a terrible way of going about it, but all he really wanted was peace. So I definitely understood his motivation. And to me, you feel me? Like he was one of the only villains that truly had a motivation that meant anything. You feel me? Like you have villains that just want to destroy. You have villains that just want to get stronger and test their strength. You got villains that just want to rule the universe. Like those are basic motivations. Like I feel like Zamasu was the only villain that truly had a deep motivation that had a deeper meaning. So that's my two picks. Super Boo for most intimidating and Zamasu for the best motivation. I'm gonna go Vert on this one.
Um, I really like that as a Masu pick. I really like that. I really like that because I remember when they had put that T, I think they said he was pure. He is pure hearted too. So I was like, wow, his motivation is really pure. For me, most intimidating, well, I think Frieza first. Like I feel like if we look back at the Namekian saga and just look at what was going on, like Frieza was literally the boss of the person that almost blew up the world last saga, Vegeta. Like Vegeta was literally one of his henchmen, basically. You know,
Facts.
and I feel like that Namek saga had no hope. You know, the Z fighters was way deep in the water, deep above their head in the water. You know, so I feel like Frieza just represented like a demonic force that kept getting stronger. Literally, everybody that they fought from the Ginyu Force, everybody all was under Frieza, and then he had the first transformations and power ups. Oh my goodness! Everybody was like, no, he went to that second form, and like Gohan literally had to pull something out of his bag to even go against Frieza. You know, so I definitely say Frieza for the first part, and then most intimidating for me, I think Perfect Cell. I think Super
Mm,
Perfect Cell because like if like he had all the DNA of all the Z fighters, so that's number one. He had the same Zenkai boost as all the Z fighters. And he was calculated like Piccolo. It was almost like that, like bro said, like the demon Piccolo vibe. What happens if Piccolo was completely evil, that calm and that calculated, and wanted to just test and toy with everybody? That's really insane. He had a whole games for the Earth, and it wasn't even a choice to participate. He said, "I'm finna blow up the Earth. Y'all playing these games right now."
Facts.
So
He didn't even have to do that. The Saiyan in him made him do that. You feel me? Like, the motivation to fight niggas made him do that. Because if he really wanted to, that man could have just ended it as soon as he got perfect. That was
man,
it. Because it wasn't even Goku at this point, even Gohan at because they're still training.
right.
At this point, he could have just fucked everything up and was like, deuces. Feel me? I'm finna fly somewhere else.
Literally. And he didn't even act out of anger too much. I feel like when he came back after he got killed that first time, he just shot a blast. He killed Trunks.
Facts.
What's wrong with this guy? For
Facts.
fun. He just talk about
Thing is, man couldn't see with no dust. He just was like, I'm gonna just hit the first nigga I feel, bro. Like
literally. Do y'all remember that scene when they were showing everybody's face? Everybody's like, where that beam going? Where it's going? And Trunks is like, that was crazy.
that,
oh,
that
it.
that was insane, dog. Bomba, what you got?
I ain't gonna lie. I did have Cell as like the nigga with the most aura, most fear nigga, especially like when he transformed and just stood there. Let niggas just attack from nearby. He just there like, oh shit, this is my strength now. Like there's no Krillin punching me, there's no Android 18 and whatnot. I'm just here just chilling. But I didn't know we were doing super characters. That's why I'm gonna change my answer now.
Mm,
And when he's first introduced, he doesn't seem like a villain. The person I'm talking about is Beerus. I mean, when he's first introduced, he seemed like a villain. Now he doesn't seem like a villain
Right.
okay.
because of the that we have. But as a destroyer, he was a villain when he pulled up to Earth. First of all, At this point in Super, the most legendary form that we've seen, Super Saiyan 3, and allegedly Super Saiyan 4 too, even though we didn't see it. This nigga Beerus comes and lets you power up. You think you're out about to fight? Nah. One tap to the shoulder. You out. I'm headed to Earth. Gonna go find Super Saiyan God. One of the cockiest nigga in the story of Dragon Ball Z has never groveled in front of nobody. Even Frieza coming back today, he talking shit to him.
Facts.
Locked eyes with Beerus. What this nigga started doing? Bowing. I'm like, what is going on with Vegeta, nigga? What is happening? That's that nigga. That's what he did. And apparently to this day, we ain't see an ounce of his power yet.
Facts.
I think that says it.
Facts.
Facts. A nigga can sneeze and blow up a planet, bro. Like that's insane. Like you shouldn't. One man should not have all that power.
He does.
Facts.
So was that your intimidating or your motivation?
Intimidating. Oh yeah, motivation. Motivation. I gotta go with motivation. I'ma just agree with Zamasu because honestly, bro, in the story of Dragon Ball Z, ain't nobody that got good motivations. And I guess I can kind of understand what Zamasu was doing, but if we can't keep it a buck too, he just had a superiority complex. Like we're gods, we're supposed to be making this decision. How do y'all breach these things? So I necessarily didn't agree with that, but I guess we'll check this him looking out for a piece, whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Kenny, we ended off with you, and then we're gonna go to the next section.
I'm gonna do motivation first because I'm gonna agree with the Zamasu pick too because I think that's one of my biggest gripes. I always talk about how the plots in Dragon Ball Z don't have enough oomph on them, and that's one of them that they villains just don't have any purpose. They just be like, I'm stronger than everybody, so I'm just gonna blow the shit up.
Okay, well that's not what we're getting at, but we're gonna let you keep going with your ignorance.
I mean, we don't even know Frieza. Like we know a little bit of Frieza's backstory, but we don't understand why he actually wants to destroy everything, other than he's a superiority complex. That's it. And I guess because Beerus told him to do it is what he said.
I gave him an okay.
But so I'm gonna go Zamasu, and then my most intimidating one is Kid Buu, because how the hell you pull up in heaven and start killing people that are already dead? What? Like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Like nobody is supposed you. Oh my God, nobody's supposed to be here. What are you
That's
doing
what I'm
here?
saying.
How did you? Nobody in their own will, not even Goku at this point, was able to go to heaven if they are not dead. This man sensed dead niggas and said, "Let's run this fade."
Like, bro, what?
Like
That's
there's absolutely no Kenny. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Like
one,
for
though.
what? Like what did you gain?
Before,
You said what?
Because
You said
I
what?
say y'all
Papa?
not my path, but the nigga I'm looking for can't find him, so I'm gonna take care of you.
I'm fucking dead. I see you got your
Like,
hand up. I feel like you had to comment on something Kenny said.
No, I did not have a comment on something Kenny said, but I'm just like, wait a minute. Something that we forgot off of the time is that the Z Fighter started off as villain, and one of those villains we just finally got his backstory as far as why he's a villain, and that's what I thought. I'm like, he's the only guy that makes sense. Demon King Piccolo and Piccolo, and now that we got their backstory from Daima, we understand why them niggas are the way they are. They were slaves, and basically run
yeah.
out of the whole dimension and shit. So that's the one I'm gonna go with for that.
I forgot
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
I forgot about that from Daima. But yeah, I'm going Kid Buu because even like who was like it was like some higher. I know it wasn't the angels. Was it the angels and the goddess of destruction? I was like, Kid Buu is a problem.
the what's it
Ties.
called? Yeah, the Kais.
The Kais.
The Kais are scared.
Yeah.
It's like, Kid Buu. Oh, he's gonna come smoke us.
Yeah, if
Because
you striking fear in the Kai's like that, you intimidating as hell, bro.
but if we being honest, because going back to because that's why I understood Vert's point. Because going back all the way to the Frieza saga, it's like you have this man that was supposed to be over the Saiyans, right? And even little things like one of the most iconic, intimidating scenes of Frieza for me is when Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma they first got to Earth, and Frieza and them were looking for the Dragon Balls. They were going from small village to small village. They were going from one village to another village, and as soon as they sensed that people were coming, they hid in a cave, and they went past. And as soon as they went past, they had went out. This nigga Krillin was shaking, and he was like, "Gohan, did you feel the power of the first dude?" Like it was one thing about Krillin that I think is underrated. Just in Dragon Ball Z entirety, his key control is amazing. That man can truly tell, no matter if you're holding back, he can truly tell how powerful you are. And so that nigga knew Frieza. As soon as they saw Frieza, he knew that nigga was an issue to begin with, dog.
You
Like,
talking about when they was on Namek?
yes,
Kakarot too.
yes. You said what?
I said you saw it in Kakarot. They show it in Kakarot, like where you pinpoint Gohan and Krillin's energy, and it's displayed like this. But then when you switch to Frieza's, the whole place is orange, and you're just like, wow, the place is orange. But then if you back up enough, you just realize you're just standing in that nigga's aura. Like you couldn't perceive his ki because it was that huge. You're just standing in it.
Facts.
You had to fly out, and then you're like, oh shit, that's why.
Yeah, nah, that crazy. All right, jumping into the next section, we're gonna go arcs and storylines. So I'm gonna start off with Kenny on this one because he hates Dragon Ball arcs. Which saga do you feel like had the best storytelling? And I did have Saiyan, Namek saga, and Android saga, Boo saga, but you feel me? You can go from Dragon Ball, you can go from Z, Super, Daima. Overall, which saga do you feel like had the best storytelling?
Shit.
Ooh.
Because Daima, like Mama said, Daima put a whole bunch of stuff on the table. I'm still okay. I got a question. I be putting the Android and Cell saga in the same shit. Like I feel like the Cell and Android saga the same shit for real.
A little overlap.
Android Saga.
Yeah, I feel like it's an overlap. They're technically they're not the same saga. You have the Android saga and the Cell saga. But if you wanna include those two, like the fans are gonna know what you talk about.
I'm gonna just okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go Android saga. And the reason I say that is because we got to see to the future and see what happens to Gohan and see what the future actually looks like without Goku, which I kind of understand. I guess one thing I'm just not realizing right now is that the future that Trunks, like even then, because Trunks wasn't even born yet.
What you mean?
Like Trunks was a teenager in his future. Like not even flashbacks and the projections of the future that we got to see. Trunks was already like a teenager or like older.
Right.
What,
You see what future am I talking about?
like what point in time? I'm confused.
When Gohan, pretty much when Gohan died, when he only had one arm.
Oh, like the future that one flashback was in.
Yeah. The reason I'm getting confused now is like once they trained, I guess it was once they trained, they were way stronger than the androids at that point. But if the time from when Goku died all the way until Trunks was a teenager, why were they? I get they were fighting, but why were they not training at the same time? Because if they would have been training,
you gotta realize
Vegeta died too, didn't he?
You gotta realize they also didn't have the hyperbolic time chamber either. A lot of them, because they were able to train in such a short amount of time. Like you get a year's worth of training in a day in a hyperbolic time chamber. They didn't have that in the future.
And you just didn't have to train too.
Facts.
That makes sense. Yeah, I still think the best storytelling or the best arc for me was probably the Android saga. I think.
No, I agree with you. I feel like the Android saga and the Cell saga, the overlapping saga in its entirety, I feel like was a great storytelling because, like you said, we got to see a glimpse into the future. We got to see the motivation from Dr. Gero creating the androids, and it had a lot of twists and turns. Like, you feel me? It was only supposed to be 17 and 18. We didn't even know Dr. Gero turned himself into an android. We didn't even know he had
still to this day the dumbest shit ever. How you make yourself an android? You the weakest one.
But I won too. Look at me.
Dumbest shit.
19, and then what's name was 16. Even 16. Though I feel they could have did a better job within the story of doing this, but they did a good job afterwards, like linking how 16 was the model for his son. In the Red Ribbon Army for Dr. Gero's son. And then fast forward to Cell and how he actually came into the place and how he also came from the future or an alternate timeline where he killed Trunks before, in its entirety. Beautiful storytelling. I
Yeah.
agree with you. That's
I
going.
was hyped when Trunks went Back to the Future and killed Cell.
Yeah, yeah.
He
And
said,
that
Oh,
get
that
about.
was
He said,
hard.
get about that ship. Where
facts.
you going?
But overall, I'm gonna agree with you. That's gonna be my pick too. Vert, which one you got?
Uh,
Which arc do you feel like has the best storytelling?
the best storytelling for me, definitely the Namek saga. I feel like the ending of the Namek saga really, it's like the whole series and encapsulated in one. You got Super Saiyan, like the fact that we seen all the transformations and seeing how the story was gonna go and how Namek saga expanded the whole, Z universe. Like we got Dende, we got Namekians, we got all these new characters, and we got instant transmission came from that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then the Mecha Frieza and King Cole. I mean, yeah. So it's like we've seen so much come from the Namek saga. I feel like if we had to have a natural endpoint in Dragon Ball Z, it probably could have ended with the Namek saga completely. Everybody came back, Goku won. That could have been it right there.
I agree with that. I think that's a good
I
pick.
like the Namek saga too.
Yeah, Namek,
That was one of my picks.
it's like we can argue some of the motivations might be a little questionable or it's not really deep rooted, but Dragon Ball Z really did, especially in Z, did a really good job storytelling in all these arcs. Bomba, we gonna end it off with you and go to the next question.
So storytelling, I mean, I already like the ones that you guys brought up, but just for the sake of being different, I'm gonna go with Dragon Ball Super. Something that happened in Super. I'm gonna go with the Tournament of Power. I feel like, especially considering what Dragon Ball Z's identity has always been, and you got the people out here, making noise, the mind them like Kenny, saying that Dragon Ball Z ain't got no emotion, the Dragon Balls with you. So Toyotada was just like, let me show you something. Let me put the stakes so high that the Dragon Ball Z don't matter no more. Let me put the
Mhm.
stakes so high that like the villains, the good guy, the ones that were deemed not useless, not useful no more. How I can make them like so important. When you're going from the uh Master Roshi's final Kamehameha to the stories of like the stanza-ups of Android 18, Gohan's redemption, Piccolo's with his relation with the dynamics, um Ultra Instinct, the relationships and the fights that we had with other Saiyans and everything, and how everything is unfolded. That guys hating Goku's ass to him, forcing them to stand up to acknowledge that, oh, his being has done some shit that we ain't seen before, bro. Yeah, give me that. That tournament power. Not only just for what it is, but for what it sets up. It's just one of the best stories.
It's like it's crazy how niggas talk about anime is breaking the internet and stuff like that. Do you know how many times Tournament of Power broke the internet? You feel me? And that saga alone, like Tournament of Power was so much better than I thought it was going to be, dog. Like, and
Right.
there was some criticism from it, but overall, bro, I think. See, look, this is positive. We've been positive all throughout. You feel me?
Yeah.
I need some negativity, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. But nah, we gonna keep it.
These sound effects.
You said what?
Where are these sound effects coming from?
What sound effects?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't hear nothing.
Oh, maybe it's on my side.
This man got sound effects.
He
All
ready?
right. Next question. So, talking about story, talking about the arcs, what is one moment in Dragon Ball entirety that gives you chills to this day? Like you can go watch this scene or this moment again and it still gives you goosebumps.
Oh.
Kenny, go ahead.
Actually, I gotta pick one. I'm gonna go with Vegeta's speech at the Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
That's top tier. That's top tier.
I couldn't remember if I wanted to go with that speech or the speech he gave to Bulma before he blew himself up.
I feel like everything, this whole segment finna be just speech there.
Facts.
Yeah.
I
Vegeta.
think I got so many moments, bro.
Vegeta got speeches, bruh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Fun fact: when I started working out again, I did this for like 3 days. I played his speech before every workout, so I can get
Which one?
the Tournament of Power speech.
Yeah.
You feel me? Vert, what's the moment that gave you that can still gives you chills to this day?
Still give me chills. I have to go into character to really watch it, but when Trunks found out about that other time machine with Bulma, when they found out that, oh, somebody else came from the freaking future, and then he had like, I remember he was taking off like the shrubbery on the side of the machine, and they
And they said,
"Hope."
"Hope."
Hey,
Not a
what?
duplicate before shit.
That was really sick. And they found that egg, like it was just a mess. Like
No,
I feel like we didn't know anything.
When they found the egg and then they found a big ass cocoon, I said, Lord, I thought it was just the androids. Like,
They didn't even know it was egg. It was like, what is this?
that's what I'm
Gotta
saying.
be.
Like,
And he even took it a step further. He went to the computer. He said, hold on. He came back 4 years before I did.
I ain't
Could
gonna
y'all
lie.
imagine if Bulma was in there, bro?
You said what?
If Bulma was in there, could y'all imagine how the story would transpire? If she was not there to be like, nah, that's an egg. That
Facts.
thing must have happened is like growing.
Facts.
The element surprise would have been worse.
No,
Yeah.
bro. Like that's a good pick because that's and what we were talking about before. That's a part of the reason that makes that arc so good. That moment right there, it's the shock factor. Like, oh shit, it's more to this. You feel me?
Hey, we got our first hater in the chat.
Dang,
First
who's
hater.
hating? Who's hating?
Shout out D Money. He said he started off by saying, "Oh, a bunch of normies talking about only shonen." If you ain't read the topic, this is a DBZ special today, my boy.
Man, my
And
fault.
then
What he
he said something.
DBZ
This is
special.
all rage bait. How long y'all been watching anime? Crazy, y'all brought up Kai and Super, but no OG. Wow.
Who brought up Kai? Nobody brought up Kai.
I don't know what he
I was
says.
about
Do
to
y'all know
say
any animes that aren't shonen? Yes, we do, but this is a DBZ special, my boy.
this. This is
In
this.
case you viewers have not noticed yet, lately we want problems, so bring them on.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And then
Yeah.
you said Kai. We got real Dragon Ball fans here. You feel me? Nobody references Kai. You feel me? That's a remake. They
He
did a
said the
good.
Buu Saga is Kai.
Oh,
The
he's
Buu Saga is Dragon Ball Z, my boy.
That man
that's
was born.
OG.
He was born in
All of
2000.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z. There's Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z guy. What the fuck is this nigga talking about?
That man was born in 2008. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving, dog. Bomba, I think it's on you.
I don't even remember the fucking topic.
what's
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 the
a
topic?
what's a moment that still gives you chills to this day?
Fuck you, nigga. In the chat, fuck you. But Kenny said it. He said that Vegeta's speech, and I was saying that the reason I feel like everybody's gonna have Vegeta's speech because we all have a speech that hit us. For me, it's the one versus Majin Buu, because you know Vegeta's characters. His whole life, what has he done? Trying to catch up to Kakarot, trying to surpass him. But you now have this moment where he's just like Kakarot's over there, and he just has to do what we all doing. Admire this nigga. Like, damn, bro. Like, you always a step forward. Didn't matter what kind of training I did. Like, Kakarot, you really that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's time for me to really give you your flowers because I even tried to cheat. And the whole time I was cheating, you already had another form. You ain't put it out. You just stood there and do what you do best, which is fighting. So I feel like that's the moment that really hits me because I feel like that's the moment that Vegeta, like, you know, that whole Majin Vegeta form, that's where we got the conclusion for it. Like, he struggled. Like, he finally ended. Let go of it.
For sure. For sure.
Before we continue, one second. If you're watching us on your For You page, go ahead and click that live and tap in with us. Come have a conversation. Don't be afraid of the chat.
Please.
Come on.
Please.
Pull up.
Pull
Come
up.
have an informed conversation or get your ass cussing.
But for me, I would say, and I want to say this by first, Mom, if you hear this, I do apologize. But my moment has to be
Fighting.
also because not only did I get chills, this is also the only time I've ever cried watching Dragon Ball Z when I was on shrooms.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Daniel D Money, he requested to join the live.
Nah, he can't join because we're not even live from the shit.
Well, D Money. Also, Daniel, somebody named Daniel said, tell Vert I said hi.
Daniel, what up? What up, Daniel? What up, my boy? Let's go.
You know, back
D
at it
Money
again.
trying to join the live, the TikTok live.
Look, man, unless you got a moment that gives you chills to this day, but if you just try and come in here and start arguments, we not finna rock with you. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a peaceful environment. We only argue with each other. But no. So this moment for me, is my moment because I'd rewatched it a couple years ago, and I was on shrooms as well. It's the only time I cried ever watching a scene. But the scene when he first, when he Bamba brought it up earlier, when he achieves Master Ultra Instinct and all the gods stand up to acknowledge him, I was crying like because all I remember saying again, I'm on shrooms. All I remember saying is this is beautiful. This is
That's crazy.
so beautiful. Like this is no anime can ever top this moment right here.
Cat.
Not
Cat.
even Gear 5 because that transformation is ass.
You know this nigga was in front of me, high as hell, like he's here, the savior. What we been waiting for?
I know that man was hype, crying.
Hey man. Moving on. Ooh, I think I'm gonna make the because we talked about Future Trunks a lot and we talked about the Buu saga a lot. So I think I'm gonna make this last question and we're gonna go to hypotheticals and power scaling because that's the first question in that section is something I'm looking forward to. But the last question for this section, which saga would you reanimate or expand if given a budget like Demon Slayers? So you got Mappa, animating your shit.
Mappa's cold. Mappa, hey, they might be number one for animation right now.
So which saga are you reanimating and why? Bomba, you ain't starting a minute. I'm gonna go first on you.
You're not gonna go nowhere on me, nigga.
You heard it, man.
But I would have to go with the World Martial Arts Tournament, and this is way back in Dragon Ball, the one where he first fought. I'm gonna say Piccolo Jr. I think that if we're talking about in terms of choreography, like or Dragon Ball is just one of those things that we all remember. Like in terms of hand, like the new fan might not feel like we got that much action, but if you really, really want to see the best fights Dragon Ball has to offer, go back to the earlier joints, pay attention to the choreography. Now, if you just have that pair with the animation of today, bro, we taking over again. Simple as that. Like Dragon Ball Z just coming out on top. From Piccolo and Goku, their OG fight, this nigga backflipping on this nigga's hand, like all that type of shit.
Guys, you have a problem.
What?
Carlo, we just lost live privileges on TikTok because of you.
What?
Whoa.
Because of me?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
What happened?
It says live access. Your access to go live and multi-guest will be restored on April 25th. Violation reasons: alcohol, tobacco, and drugs.
All right,
Where
we
they
cannot
at?
smoke.
I'm saying, where
Wait, what did Carlo
Remember what you
do?
said you did when you was watching the
Oh my God.
What?
Dang.
Because I said I was on shrooms.
Oh, man, what the hell?
Hey,
Yeah, that's bogus.
it is what
I
it
feel
is.
it later, don't worry.
I was about to say the 25th is 3 days. It is what it is.
should I challenge it? Actually,
We'll
I can't even
appeal it.
challenge it no more.
I mean, it is what it is. I just know
That's
not
tough.
to. I just
We'll
know not to
learn
say
it.
shrooms on TikTok.
Yeah.
Hey man, what up YouTube? What up Twitch?
Yeah. That's crazy. Bro sold the lad, bro. That's bogus. TikTok be
That's
on it though.
insane. They on, but
Literally.
But yeah, we can continue.
all right, Bomba. Did you have any more?
What was I saying?
Dragon
can't
Ball
remember.
Reanimated.
World
Yeah.
Martial Arts Tournament, Dragon Ball arc.
Yeah, that's just that. I mean, just give it good animation. Can't remember.
For sure. Kenny, what about you?
I'm gonna go with the Namek saga. I feel like that scene where Goku hit Super Saiyan for the first time when he's like really and the screen is like flashing different colors and he's turning up. I feel like that in a modern animation would be cool. And like the groundbreaking and shit around him. Fire.
I feel that. My pick was going to be the Buu arc just for the specific Dragon Goku versus Vegeta fight. Just for that specific fight, I would love to see that remade because to me, one, that's one of my favorite fights in the overall anime. To me, that's the best fight in Dragon Ball. So to see
That's
that
the best fight, that little skirmish.
it's not a little skirmish. Like you keep trying
Everything
to do
that
this. You keep saying little skirmish, which, you know, shows me how ignorant you truly are.
I hate this man.
It
Like,
was short. It was a short fight. I ain't gonna lie.
it wasn't that short as far as
About that fight,
you said. What, Bumba?
75% of both Goku's and Vegeta's arsenal, like in terms of their fight arsenal, was displayed during that fight. A lot of the shit they were doing there, you don't see it anymore ever again.
Facts. Like, I ain't never seen Vegeta put a nigga in rings and trapped him on a mountain ever. You feel me? So, but now, Vert, we gonna finish off with you, and then we gonna go to the next section.
I would definitely say like the Android saga. I feel like they had some cool stuff. Like maybe make the laboratory scenes a lot more animated. You know, I feel like with that big budget, they can go crazy with just the transformation. Even when Cell actually absorb 18 and 17, like do something with that. But I ain't gonna lie, I wish I could. I would really reanimate some of those movies, bro. Like the Cooler movie, the Broly movie. I feel like it's so much left on the table with them movies.
Facts.
You know, especially the Cooler. I feel like Cooler one of the best movies, or like Tree of Might, anything, all
Tree
the
of Might.
movies.
What about which cooler one? The one where he came to Earth, or Metal Cooler?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, Meta Cooler with a budget would be insane now. Like that was like Planet Galactus, like Transformer Unicron type activity. Like
Facts.
that could be really nasty.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Metal Cooler is one of my favorite. I think it's my second favorite. My favorite movie is Lord Slug. Lord Slug goes so cold to me, but that Metal Cooler movie is different, dog.
Yeah.
Especially they went through all that trouble. Goku couldn't get him one-on-one. Vegeta had to come help. Then it was a final punch from both of them that finally ended that one cooler. Then you got thousands just on the cliff waiting for these niggas. I'm like, nah. Honestly, if I could add anything, I understand that they lost and got captured, but I do want to see how they would have fought against all of them, just them two. Like that would have been a crazy scene.
That'd been wild.
Facts. All right.
Super
Hey,
wild.
we got people in the Twitch chat going crazy.
Oh yeah, Twitch chat going crazy. Billy, what up? Faceless, what up?
Hey,
SG,
shout out.
Good
what up?
job.
Shout out Twitch. What's good?
Twitch chat going crazy.
Moving on to the next section. This is going to be the hypotheticals and power scaling. Now, this is the question I was trying to get to all night. Who would win in this dream fight?
Let's get negative.
You said what, Bumba? Oh, he said
said
let's
let's
get
get
negative. Who would win in this dream fight? Team Gohan or Trunks from Super before he got his rage power boost? At this point, and the reason I matched these two up because I had another matchup, but I feel like, this would have been better. But at this point, I'm taking Gohan at his strongest, and then, like I said, I'm taking future Trunks at his strongest before the rage power up. And we know for a fact that both of them could achieve Super Saiyan 2. So,
Wait, I got a question. Are we talking about Team Gohan as in Saiyan Man Team Gohan?
no,
Or are we
Cell.
talking
Cell.
Cell Saga?
Not grown up Gohan.
Oh, wait.
I think this might be easy, man.
Might be easy.
Team Gohan is fried chicken when Trunks involved. No cap. Team Gohan getting fried, bro. Team Gohan, he ain't got the heart. Trunks, future Trunks that killed Deborah and Bibbidi by himself.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I ain't think about that.
We talking about the Team Trunks from that horrible timeline, Team Trunks? The one that had the whole weight of the universe on it, that seen Black Goku in that air that day? That one?
But even though I will say Trunks did beat Bibbidi and Deborah and prevented Majin Buu from coming out, but even in Z, they said if Gohan was as strong as when he was against Cell, he would have been able to beat Deborah no problem. So we gotta think. Yeah, I do agree he don't got the heart that Trunks has, but we talking about Team Gohan that can achieve Super Saiyan 2. Now, when you put that Gohan up against a Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, I think that's a little harder to think about because, like I said, if Gohan still had that same grit about him when he grew up, that's easy chicken. And like Deborah was as strong as Cell. You feel me? At full strength. So I don't know, but
the boys thinking. Look at Mama, look at Kenny.
I'm not thinking that. I just want to put that out there. I'm not thinking at all. I have my answers ever since. Like I said, I've been arguing this specific topic since yesterday. Cause I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
what the fuck you talking about?
All right,
This
so
is
go.
what I want to remind y'all. The fight between Goku and Beerus at the very beginning of Super. The conversation that they have. Beerus looks at Goku with his Super Saiyan God, and he's just like, "You look a little sad. What's going on?" He tells him, "My whole life, I couldn't even conceive of this type of power level. To know that through my training alone, I would not have been able to achieve this form is breaking me." And Beerus is like, "Why did you do it?" Because he's like, "Because I have to defeat you." And he's like, "Well, you better start fighting." That's with Super Saiyan God. This trunk, like Vert said, not only did you had to take care of every threat that happened after Cell, that trunk is able to tussle with Vegeta after I come back. Like, meaning that, like, the Super Saiyan 2 that Vegeta has, Super Saiyan God that Goku has, all of that has evolved with them alongside their progression. But now with like Super Saiyan God, I can tussle with these niggas a little bit. And I'm not even talking about rage mode. I can just tussle with them. So you took Super Saiyan 3 times whatever the God Key gives them, and then that's the power level that Trump is at. Meaning that whatever Super Saiyan 2 is at, Trump is at times 10, maybe times 20, maybe times 30. We
I
just don't know
disagree with
exactly.
that. I disagree with that.
You can't, no, this is my thing. This is not arguable. This
It
is
is.
not something that I'm telling you for us to like or not like. That is a fact as far as how the power level works. Regardless of what you think, that's a fact.
The thing
That
is,
Goku is telling you, that Goku is telling you that this power I couldn't even conceive, and we already know that Goku has Super Saiyan 3 because he showed us, and he also has Super Saiyan 4 now thanks to Diamond. Those shit not enough. So he's Super Saiyan through 2 with God Key is different than any other Super Saiyan 2 you've seen in the series.
what is Goku?
with,
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble understanding the connection you're trying to make between Goku and Trunks.
because I'm trying to show you that when they pushed that God Key, when they introduced it, they're introducing a new power level. Now, when you have that power level and then the hit, the Trunks, these people that don't have the power, like the God Key with themselves, for them to rival you, mean that their power strength has to be high enough to match your new God Key level strength. You feel me? So the times 10 or the times 20 that Goku is talking about within his own self, later on when you've mastered Super Saiyan God and you master Super Saiyan Blue, and you fight a nigga that has Super Saiyan 2 and he's able to tussle with you, that's the power level that he's at now. That's not the same. That's what I'm saying. That's the correlation.
The thing is,
and those are facts.
The thing is, I did say before him having his raised transformation, and you saying he was able to tussle with Vegeta. I remember that specific scene that you talking about. They didn't tussle. Vegeta was finna whoop that man ass. The only reason he even got a hit on Vegeta is because he faked them out. He used strategy to get one hit, and Vegeta was not expecting it. He knew that Vegeta would be upset with him when he transformed into Super Trunks and got all muscly. And when Vegeta got pissed and went to him, Trunks was like, I knew he'd fall for that. I got him. And then he decreased his muscles, got his speed back, landed a hit, and that was it. Vegeta was about to fry that man. That wasn't a tussle. That was gotcha. But I can't really fight you.
Now you're right. Okay, let's discard the Vegeta one. You said in the future, before he awoke his Berserk form. Before he awoke his Berserk form, he fought Goku Black alone.
That's what I was gonna say.
He survived.
There was a point where both Vegeta and Goku are not there, and he has to hold them on.
Yeah,
I feel like you can survive enough to run away, which is what he was doing. And even Goku Black admittedly was toying with this nigga. He could have killed Trunks a long time ago. Trunks was. When have you ever seen a nigga fly running on feet in fear? This man was 2 feet running, jumping, hiding in buildings. And the thing is, you can say he fought him. He did not fight him. You didn't see him fight him. All you saw was him running. He survived against Goku Black. He never. And if they fought, he learned real quick that I can't beat him. I have no chance. If he felt like he had a chance, he wouldn't have been running.
I feel like he knew he
Okay.
had a chance, but he had to survive.
Carlo is bullshit. You don't even believe in this fact. I promise you. Oh God, look at his face. Kenny know Carlo. Brett, Kenny know Carlo. You don't believe this shit. But even if you know all of that, when Trunks is at the cabin, he is fighting Goku Black because at that point I have to hold you down. If I don't fight you, he is leaving. So he is fighting him. Regardless of you saying, oh, maybe I saw him afterwards, he was running with you. There was different fights. And then these guys too awoke. There is a rose that awakens in Goku Black. Maybe at that point, then Trunks has to run. But you were asking before he transferred himself, he has a point in time where he has to hold them down by his lonesome.
Right.
For a good bit while these niggas over there at the refugee camp.
So I'm taking it as this. For me, my biggest thing was you might have enough experience and you might have enough strength to hold up against a god who wasn't even using a full strength to fight against you any of those times. You feel me? Because one thing I realized from watching Super, after Zamasu took Goku's body, what is one thing the other Zamasu was criticizing him for? Having the emotion to want to keep fighting. This nigga was fiending for a fight. He wanted to fight Trunks. He wanted to toy with him. He wanted to humiliate this man. You feel me? So I feel like Gohan at his strongest point in Super Saiyan 2, if put in that situation, would have been in the same situation as Trunks, to where he's not beating Goku Black, but he's doing his best to survive. I'm putting it as at their strongest, Super Saiyan 2, both Saiyans, Gohan's edging Trunks out in that fight. He's edging Trunks out in that fight. Because again, one difference we see with Gohan and Trunks at the Super Saiyan 2 is the difference in mentality. Like, Gohan at Super Saiyan 2 is out for blood. That nigga is out for blood. He's going to be ruthless. He's going to be malicious. He's not going to hold back. And again, at their strongest Super Saiyan 2, it was stated, as a kid, Super Saiyan 2, Gohan would have been able to beat Deborah. Gohan would have been able to whoop Deborah because Deborah was what? As strong as perfect cell. Super perfect cell. So Trunks beating Deborah and Bibbidi, it's a feat. It doesn't do a lot for me because it was stated that Gohan would have did it as well. But I feel like if you put them in a
yes, put it back up.
If you put them in a one-on-one fight, he's edging out Trunks, bro.
No. So you telling me a Cell? We didn't get past the Boo saga. We didn't get past all. You telling me a Cell saga Gohan is beating Dragon Ball Super Trunks?
Yes. Did you even listen to the question?
Yes, I did, and I can't agree.
You can't base it off of timeline, dog. Because if we base it off of timeline, I believe that Krillin at this point right now, I can say Krillin can beat what's his name, Majin Buu, because he's in Super and he fought in the Tournament of Power. Like your argument didn't make sense. Have a better argument, Kenny. Have a better.
But no,
what about this?
This is why I feel like what Kenny's saying argument as timeline is. And that's why I even was using Goku, is because Trunk is not in that timeline to be followed. But Goku or maybe Vegeta, I can follow from that Saiyan saga because they also reached Super Saiyan 2. They went on to face other threats that Trunks had to deal with in a separate timeline. And then now when we're skipping all of the Majin Buu saga, he comes and meets us in the middle of Super when we have a woke power level. Meaning that even if you are saying that Trunks versus Vegeta was not a fight, you had instances where both Vegeta and Goku going Super Saiyan God, I'm not even talking about Super Saiyan no more, Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, having tussle with these niggas and then running, and then I stand up and have a tussle with these niggas and you telling me you're surviving, but you're not saying that about Goku and Vegeta.
Because
who literally
Goku
ran,
and Vegeta
ran up
pushed
to the
Black to the
timeline.
brink. How many times did Goku and Vegeta push
Because,
Black to the brink and he had to
Bro,
get
no,
stronger
wait,
to
wait,
beat them?
wait.
Trunks never pushed Black to the
Because
brink until he got rage.
do we
That's
seriously
what I'm
think
saying.
Team Gohan
okay,
could
wait,
fight
wait.
Goku
You
Black?
mentioned Ray too, huh?
Do we
Yeah,
even
Team
seriously
Gohan
think?
not fighting Goku Black either.
I don't believe Trunks can. I literally am saying the same thing about Trunks. Trunks can't fight Goku Black. He can
But this is what
survive. He can't fight that nigga. The only reason
he
Goku
did.
Black let him live is because he has a Saiyan body now, and that nigga wants to fight. Like,
Okay,
that's it.
okay, fair. That's fair enough, Carlo. That's fair enough. The reason why Goku Black let him live is because he has the same body. What about Zamasu? Because, like I said, not only did he fight Goku Black 1v1, fought
Zamasu wasn't
1v1.
introduced late. Zamasu,
Wait,
the other Zamasu wasn't
wait.
introduced till late.
No, but he fought that Zamasu before he awoke and went berserk, like you said. He fought that Zamasu because they were going 2-on-2 at one point. And then Vegeta wasn't able to tag in, or Goku wasn't able to tag in. He was going 1v1 with Zamasu. I'm not talking about Goku Black, with Zamasu. So he fought Goku Black and Zamasu. And neither one of those niggas killed him. Maybe you can say that Goku Black didn't want to kill him because of the pride aspect. What about the god that literally was like, you filth? Because literally Trunks stabbed him. He thought he killed him.
Right. And while he was in Super Saiyan 2, right? While he was in Super Saiyan 2, right? Guess who also beat Zamasu in Super Saiyan 2? Goku.
Ooh. Goku didn't beat Zamasu in Super Saiyan 2.
Yes, he did. They
Earlier.
when they went to go spar in the universe in Universe 6, Goku turned it earlier. Goku didn't turn it to Super Saiyan. What do you mean earlier? That's the power. Zamasu didn't get stronger. The only difference between him and him in the past Zamasu was he was immortal. That's literally it. He didn't train to get stronger.
Thank you. So I'm not even talking about Carlo. I want Kenny and Vert. Pay attention to earlier when I try to use the argument of Goku being at that power level. So you telling me that the Super Saiyan 2 that Goku was at that point, meaning that he had God Ki, Super Saiyan God with the red hair, and Super Saiyan Blue, which is an elevated state. And we know that every single Saiyan, as you get stronger, your previous form gets stronger with you. So you're telling me that you're fine with Goku going 1v1 with Zamasu, and you're like, oh, it's Super Saiyan 2. But then that same Zamasu later on fight Trunks, and then you try to cancel the argument that Goku now got strong.
I'm not trying to cancel the argument. Goku obviously didn't use his full Super Saiyan 2 strength against that Zamasu. That's exactly what I've been saying. That's what I'm saying. He didn't use. He knows how to hold back. Just because he was Super Saiyan 2, he didn't use his full strength to fight against that man.
So I'm guessing what you're saying is that Goku used a little bit of Super Saiyan true strength, and then Trunks used all of his strength to beat Zamasu, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what you're just making that choice. That's not what the
I'm
story
not
is
making that choice. Goku even said he's not going to use his full power. Goku said that.
No, because Trunks
he says that.
Trunks
we can watch the episode together.
Okay, this is a point. Another example of Zamasu not using his whole strength. Zamasu was holding back from the get-go. People are telling him, don't hold back because this mortal will kill you. He didn't believe it. So you're telling me if I don't know I'm moving off that, I'm holding back too. But you chose to think that Zamasu held back. Goku didn't tell you I'm holding back. Goku never said that. They're trying to figure out this nigga's energy sense. When you are choosing to just discard Goku's energy strength, at the end of the day, like I said, Trunks, you said he couldn't fight the niggas. He fought not only Black, he fought Zamasu, and then two of them niggas together.
Yeah, he fought the merged one. They killed the merged. They killed half of the merged one.
When he was enraged. This is
but I'm saying he fought them. Two of them. 2v1. He fought that. He had that fight.
He didn't.
What?
That nigga survived.
Okay.
I believe Team Gohan at his strongest with his potential could did the same thing.
Gohan dying to that.
Team Gohan, if he was put in that situation, we would have the same story.
I ain't gonna lie, that's cat because Super Perfect Cell, when he came back after getting blown up by Team Gohan, was right there with Gohan anyway. Like
when Gohan had one arm, when Gohan had to save Vegeta and had one arm.
Future Trunks is soloing Super Perfect Cell way faster than Team Gohan did.
And look, I believe Team Gohan would have did the same thing if he didn't have one arm. If he didn't have to save Vegeta.
How would he do the same thing if he had a Zenkai boost when he came back, when Cell came back from getting destroyed? He was stronger. Like they was like it was over.
He was stronger. He was stronger, but it never said he was as strong as Gohan, when he came back, even though he had that Zenkai boost, Gohan was like, oh shit, he came back stronger. He was like, he was ready for it. He was like, yeah, now I'm about to get you back for my dad. He was ready for him. Who went out like an idiot and got their ass kicked? Vegeta. Who did I have to save? Vegeta. I got my arm blew off. I got one.
Who saved you when you were blowing one arm?
Hold
when
on,
you were using one
the fact that Gohan was able to beat him with one arm should tell you everything. The fact that he was
Gohan had Vegeta cheat behind Cell. Without that, you don't win.
Vegeta barely had any power. He used all the power he had left, and so he
yes,
did it
to help him
because he bent his knee, Mamba. His knees got bent.
No,
his knees got bent. So he cheated. He cheated because he bent his legs.
Did Cell get distracted by Vegeta's key blast? Yes or no?
Because he bent his legs, he was distracted. He still had a blast in front of him. He didn't let go.
No, but that's literally
he was
what
still
saved
holding
it.
Fight. He didn't get distracted that much. I'm not. Team Gohan.
And literally, Carter, here's my thing. No, Carter, here's my thing. You're arguing whether Cell and Gohan were near the same power level. You concretely said Dabura is the same power level as
I did
that Team Gohan. You said that.
No, I said it's super perfect Cell. Actually, give me
super perfect.
Quote me.
Better, even better.
Quote me.
We're going with that, right?
Right.
You said that. I defeated this nigga and moved on. The reason why Gohan, he's Super Saiyan 2 was an argument in the Buu saga is because Gohan slacked.
Because he stopped
Gohan
training.
was slacking.
Right.
So you got weaker. Meaning that potentially that Super Saiyan 2 is the peak of Gohan that we've seen at that point.
Okay.
But this nigga, Trunk by himself, defeated Dabura and Bobby D, which you said was at the strength of Super Cell, and then moved on to train some more. And then have to deal with Goku Black now.
Okay.
What do Saiyans have to do with?
Who do he train with?
Who do he train with? Comes in.
The Supreme
Who did he what?
Who do he train with?
But that's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. The Zenkai boost. Because even if you're considering just the fight with Goku Black, you damn near died. Come back. What happened? A power up. Are you not already stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who's the same level as Dabura, who already killed? Am I not already stronger?
Facts. And he's training with the Kais.
You keep saying, is he Super Saiyan 2 Gohan not as strong as Dabura? I said he was stronger than Dabura.
That's not what I asked.
That's literally what you just said. So
I'm asking you. No, this is what I'm asking you. I'm saying that considering that fact that you said, which Dabura was stronger than Super Cell, whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
They were the same level as strength.
Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. What I'm telling you is that Trunk was at that point at some time, but now with Super and all of the conflict, and let's bring up the point that Vert just said. Training with the Kais.
Right.
You train with the Kais after that event, and then later on you face threats that force you to near-death experience. Zenkai boots kicks in. You get stronger.
Yeah.
That all happened. So Trunk, when he pops up in Super, you confirm by just what we know in Dragon Ball and the fact that you stayed with Gohan's power level. We already know he pulling up right then and there. He already stronger than Gohan.
Cap.
By far.
I don't have a cap sign, but cap.
That's literal facts.
Well, I assume you have a rebuttal, which I'm ready to hear.
Yeah. You said what?
I said, but I'm assuming you have a rebuttal, which I'm ready to hear.
That no amount of training that he did after he killed Dabura was going to make him stronger than Team Gohan.
No amount?
No amount.
But that don't make sense.
No amount.
That don't make sense.
I'm saying I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It wasn't. I didn't read it. It wasn't referenced. What training are you talking about? Because he trained with the guys. Then he killed Dabura. But after that, what training?
We don't know. He could have fought more superheroes that didn't even make it.
We don't know that. I didn't read that anywhere. You didn't read that anywhere. I didn't see it anywhere. I know Kenny ain't see it anywhere. Kenny not even in the conversation.
Here's what you see. Even if he didn't train, you saw him face the threat that Goku Black was. So if he runs from that and survives from that, he getting stronger. Just by his nature.
I'm not going. I ain't
gonna lie. Goku Black is killing Team Gohan like future Gohan got killed by the androids.
Look.
Exactly.
Look, no, Team Gohan Super Saiyan 2, he gonna survive just like Trunks did. He just going. We gonna see him running 2 feet away into
This is
buildings.
plot armor.
Yeah.
This is supreme plot armor. This is crazy.
Look,
This is just supreme.
y'all two. Look, it's fine. Y'all two got Trunks. I got Gohan. I'm imagining Kenny has Trunks.
Did I not go?
At least if you have anything additional to add to this, by all means. Ooh, excuse me.
What I'm gonna say is, like the Zenkai boo speaks for herself. The Trunks, if we see anything that they show us, Trunks' timeline stays in a near death experience. That man stay in a near death experience, and if he already defeated 2 enemies of the same strength as Super Perfect Cell, and Gohan barely beat 1 Super Perfect Cell, you kind of got to go with the one to beat 2 of them.
Beat them by himself too.
By solo
By
dolo.
himself.
And probably no sense of being.
No sensu bean. Oh my gosh. No,
Where's Curry Power?
no sensu bean. Oh my goodness.
Do they even have Dragon Balls over there? I don't think so.
No dragon. No hope. With no hope. No Piccolo giving
Oh, bro.
insights. No break in between.
No King
No,
Kai
bro.
in your ear?
I swear to God, I almost punched my fucking camera when Kenny said
I wish you
he barely beat Super Perfect Cell. Why did
He
you know?
barely did.
I'm not about to, because I just argued with Bamba about that, so I'm not about to do this again. I hate you. I just want to let you know that.
He was fighting for his life.
I understand he was fighting for his life. I understand that.
Didn't Goku Black kill Bulma?
Blew
Yes,
up.
he did.
Blew it right up.
He killed Booba.
He did.
Oh,
he
yeah,
did.
yeah.
He did at the beginning when he was
He
introduced.
killed Mai too, didn't he?
Nah, Mai survived.
Oh,
Ah, not no more?
I think he killed one of the Mai, like one version of Mai. I think he killed.
Yeah,
kill
Maya's
it.
dead now.
Did he kill a version of Mai? Because Mai survived.
No, because Zamasu.
Mai survived.
I thought he was 2
She
versions
did?
of Mai at one point. I thought she died.
I
I
don't
remember
think it was-
Mai survived.
There at the end. Remember, they showed them going to another alternate universe with another Trunks and Mai. After Zeno basically said, "Yeah, this shit too fucked up. I'm gonna just go ahead and snap this reality away."
Right.
But yeah, Mai survived. She almost died.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Trunks wins that.
For sure. We all can't agree. Somebody had to disagree.
This one might be facts though. This one is like you just avoiding the facts on this one. We're not even talking about Goku Black and Team Gohan. Like I don't think anybody even considers that it's possible. Like literally, that's not even a joke. Goku Black versus Team Gohan. He's not even gonna use it. He gonna pull out that sword.
Again, the only reason why Trunks survived is because that nigga wanted to fight and torture him. That's literally it. That's literally it.
No.
That
But
nigga, and actually, when Black first came out, he came for death. He was killing niggas. He wasn't trying to find no fun. He started finding fun after he fought Goku. It was like, wait a minute. Nah,
Look,
Black
don't-
wouldn't have wasted the time. He wouldn't have wasted time if Trunk wasn't a worthy opponent. He was like, I
Look,
might be
don't-
stronger, but
y'all about to make me ask that man Gerald Peyton Taylor, bro. Because
man, fuck Gerald Payton Taylor. I broke his ass the other day. Pause.
for those in
Hey, how
the
did you break Gerald?
how'd you
I
break-
promise you I did. Because it started, I was having a conversation like when we were going, and then I was like, at what point did Sasuke fight Itachi? And it just started like breaking as far as the story. I'm like, this don't make sense. And it was like, oh yeah, you're right. Da, 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 da. I'm like, this is not accurate. And then I just gave it at some point.
Understandable. And for those in the chat that don't know who Gerald Peyton Taylor is, that is Chat GPT. And we go to him when we can't agree on anything. All right. Well, that is the negativity I needed for the day. The next question. If Goku died permanently after the Cell games, who should have carried the torch? I feel like the obvious answer is Gohan, but if y'all have another answer, y'all are more than welcome to say it.
Carried the torch. What do you mean? But I need you to define carried the torch first.
So Goku is the hero in the story. Who should have been the next hero? Like who is the person that is the new person to show up at the last minute when we all just got our ass whooped, and now it's time for him to fight the main villain. You keep knocking down my light, Coda.
I thought you meant
Yeah,
like
Bob
who's
on the
gonna be
same
the
page.
leader of the Z Fighters. I was gonna say, well, it can't be the guy who still has a bedtime. So
that don't
Who's
even want to
that?
fight for real.
Gohan, this man, Chi Chi
I'm about to
Chi
say-
still have rule. Chi-Chi, he still has to listen to
It is.
Chi-Chi. The
Carlo, the
leader
way
of
I
the
put
Z
it, the
Fighters
way
is
I
gonna have to be Vegeta if Goku died. It's just gonna have to be Vegeta.
Or Future
Nah.
Trunks.
Or Future Trunks.
Like Mama
Future
said,
Trunks
Future
could.
Trunks.
Wait, Bomba, your pick is Future Trunks.
Oh no! I just said that the way my answer structure, I think y'all can appreciate it.
Okay, what's up?
Okay.
Because think about it, just like Carlos said it, the person that we would need to face the threats and everything. The obvious answer that's left is Vegeta, and the reason why I feel like he should have picked up the torch is the whole way Vegeta kind of lost his reason to fight when Goku was gone. And he was just like, just don't like couldn't figure himself out. Now imagine the threat actually pulls up, and unfortunately there is nobody to save here because the Z fighters are not enough. Goku's not here, and then Vegeta not only will have to step in and fight, but I feel like that could be like because the Cell Saga kind of mark Vegeta like humanity a little bit because he kind of broke after Gohan happened, and now he just wanted to catch up to Goku. Like with everything that happened, I just feel like I lost myself. But what if he could find himself through that role of like just being present for the Earth? So that's what I'm saying. Like Goku doesn't come back, I can see Vegeta taking
Has to be Vegeta.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody got
I
anything
agree.
else to add?
He said Future Trunks.
Who?
I think
Elaborate.
I think if they would have said Future Trunks, come back, and he would have stayed, Future Trunks would have led the Z Fighters with such precise killing. Like any threat come by, we're not finna play with this guy. We're killing him as if I'm in my timeline by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like that's how he would be surgical, absolutely surgical, war general, more than Vegeta. Like he's like Future Trunks didn't even have that Saiyan pride problem as
Facts.
much like real regular timeline Trunks. Trunks would have literally
Mhm.
led the Z Fighters to a peaceful Earth.
I
That's
get
facts.
you on that, but in what world is Vegeta letting his son tell him what to do?
Power. I feel like the same way how Vegeta was like, "Hey, Gohan, low key stronger than me, gang." Like you know what I'm saying? I feel like it would have been that type of same situation. Like Vegeta would have respected it, kind of like how Goku. It would have been a new Goku versus Vegeta type power dynamic struggle. My son is almost or possibly stronger than me. I have to stay on point. I think it'd have been
And even at that point, he didn't want to fight no more, so he would be somewhere fuck off.
Fact.
Like he
yeah.
literally would.
I also think Vegeta at that point was breaking through the mold of his stubbornness, and so his son coming back, I think he would have because I mean, when he came back, uh, when he came back from the future, the second time, he had gave him a speech and told him he wants him to shoot for higher ceiling than him and Goku, and that's
Mhm.
just who Vegeta became. He became Kaba's mentor, and when him and Kaba fought in the first tournament, you feel me? Like he told him, he was like, "I want you to become strong," and Kaba was like, "I'll try my best. I'll become the strongest I can," and then he slammed the vase down. Was like, "No, shoot higher." You feel me? I want you to become. I feel like he would have shared that same energy with Trunks, like letting him know, like you'll never surpass me, but in the back of his mind, like I need to do all that I can to make sure he becomes the perfect warrior. You feel me?
Right.
So, and I also agree with you. You feel me? I also agree with you on the fact that Trunks is literally the only person who has broke the Saiyan curse to where I don't want to keep fighting you, nigga. Like you are a threat. It's time for you to get the fuck out of here. I believe he would have brought that balance because Goku does not have that. Goku does not have that at all, and Vegeta tries until he gets excited.
And Gohan
And
didn't have it all either.
once Vegeta get excited, it's over with. Like it's oh lord.
It's come on, show me your power. I'll give you a chance. Show me
Facts,
your power.
facts.
Like, man, you don't kill this guy.
Moving on to I feel like the next set of questions we really just talked about. So I'm going to move on to the next section, which is legacy and the future. Um, and as far as legacy, how do y'all believe Dragon Ball Z shaped anime culture in the West, which is the hemisphere we are in? I know this is a toughie. This is a thinky. I'm gonna let y'all think, and
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
I
just
got one.
go ahead,
In the
Kenny.
West,
He's
I feel like
always
Dragon Ball Z was pretty much the West first taste of anime for real. Like everybody is how the West got hooked on anime for real. Like of course there was Pokemon, which might be just as iconic as Dragon Ball Z. And there's Yu-Gi-Oh. But as far as like Shonen throwing hands, I don't think there's another anime that was as influential and like getting Americans hooked on anime than Dragon Ball Z. Because you got to think about it. Any person who likes Naruto or One Piece or even Bleach, they probably got their roots in Dragon Ball Z first.
Facts.
So I think like Dragon Ball Z is like the anime for combat anime.
Nah, I definitely that's growth, ain't it, Bomba? Because remember when he called Dragon Ball Z a drama anime?
I was trolling, I was
that's
rage
great.
baiting.
Nah, nah, he wasn't trolling that man.
I don't know if you told him or not. We got 3 more
I
uploads
was
of that same
trolling.
video.
Clearly, I was trolling.
But no, I definitely agree with Kenny. I mean, he said it all just from personal experience. I know there's a lot of people that share this experience. Like my first anime, of course, you feel me? I'm a big anime fan. I'm into several ones, but my first anime, my favorite, the number one in my heart, Dragon Ball Z. I still got a Dragon Ball Z cover to this day. My first VHS tape that I specifically own was Dragon Ball Z: The Dead Zone. Dead Zone movie with Garlic Jr. My first video game was well, not my very first video game that I played, but the first one that I owned was Dragon Ball Z Budokai on the PlayStation 2. You feel me? Like it wasn't just, you feel me, the influence it had on other anime, but also the influence it had on kids because you like they at that point they had the best everything. They had the best anime. You saw them on Toonami. That was the main place we watched it on. They had the best video games. Like it was just it just even it's to a point where you feel me like growing up in places that we grew up. You got Columbus, you got Chicago. You feel me like growing up where we grew up. It's a bunch of niggas that don't really fuck with anime like that. Like they didn't watch cartoons growing up. Niggas love SpongeBob. You feel me? Like I didn't know that until I got older. Niggas really fucked with SpongeBob heavy. Like niggas love SpongeBob, but for a nigga that back in your neighborhood that you grew up with that don't know watch anime, they know exactly who Goku is. Just like Kenny said, same thing with Pokemon. They know who Pikachu is. They at least know though. They hood niggas know Goku. Hood niggas know Pikachu. That's literally it. They don't know nobody else but Goku and Pikachu. So that's it's just the influence is crazy, man. Like R.I.P. Akira Toriyama, you really gave this world a gem that span. Like I never thought Dragon Ball Z would ever come back after it ended. You feel me? Like especially GT after the end of GT, like all you really look forward to was the games. Like you wasn't looking forward to any manga. You wasn't looking forward to any specials or anything like that. Then they popped out with, I think this is like 08, 09. They popped out with the Yo Goku and Friends special where they introduced Vegeta's younger brother. And then years later they announced
Vegeta got a younger brother.
You
yes,
don't know about that?
his name is Tarble.
Horrible. And he is married.
And he's married.
No, did not know this. Is he alive?
Look at this fraud.
Yeah, he's
Look at this fraud.
man's alive and well.
Chilling.
Wah, wah, wah.
But no,
This nigga
just
right here.
it just I can go on and on about it, but I found myself going on a tangent. But Bomber Vert with whoever wants to go next, y'all can go.
Bro, you got it.
I ain't gonna lie, I agree with what both y'all said. Dragon Ball Z is like Michael Jordan to basketball. Like it's almost a universal language across cultures. Like nothing, no more needed. You know what I'm saying? We like you said, we all know who Goku is. But even like where it touches the culture, I heard that Broly, like the reason why people in the gym like, oh, he looking brolic, that came from Broly, or like the whole transforming and yelling and like transformations in general. I feel like that's a Dragon Ball Z thing. Like that's literally Dragon Ball Z thing. Whenever you see it in any other cartoon, it's always the same way. Somebody get enraged, or it's at that moment and they change colors or something like that. Like it touches every bit of our culture. And as far as like walking, opening up Japanese to everyone, just like how Fast and Furious, like Tokyo Drift did. It's like this is a universal language. Nothing else needs to be said. You like Dragon Ball Z? I do too. We're family now. It's one of them type of heavyweight common language for real.
Facts.
Mm.
Facts.
Hey.
That should be the it should be on a Japanese flag. Like it should literally be like
Put the Dragon Ball on it.
Like it's the thing. Like imagine if we grew up in Tokyo. Y'all know that's you feel me. Like they attribute. I mean, to this, it's more widely accepted now, especially because of COVID. Like everybody watches anime, but it's regular. But when we was younger and we was watching it, you was really afraid to tell people like I fuck with this. You feel me? But like
We got police, so y'all do this
if you
today.
if you grew up over there, bro, like this is a part of like everyday life. Like adults, no matter who they are, background, job, like adults are tuning in to Dragon Ball anime. Like that's a
right.
part. That's their culture over there. You feel me? I can only imagine growing up on that side. But Bomba, take it away, and I'll move on to the next one.
Everybody raise your hand if Dragon Ball Z almost got your ass beat. Just me. Okay.
Why would
I
it
mean,
get my ass beat?
because you're in there just going, man. You're like, you about to go Super Saiyan or some shit. But no, I think that Bert covered. I mean, as far as what I wanted to say, you said it perfectly. I think that just Dragon Ball Z just allowed us to have a niche before there was like niche for anime. You feel me? Like for you to have those few people that read Dragon Ball, watched it, and then you were excited to go to them. Like, yo, did you see that latest fight? Even though like that shit was already done by the time we were like kids, but it's just like coming out to these channels and we're tuning in, we're locking in. Like now you're able to have discussion about anime all over the world. But like Carlos said, back then, you know, you had to have your you're not repping it out loud, or you just might be running with your hands behind the back, but like, you know, that's looked at as weird. Back then, you're able to sit down. There was niggas that genuinely enjoyed anime, and then y'all could just sit there, just fantasize about this shit. Like this nigga is the coldest shit we've seen on TV. And honestly, it might have to do with the fact that like I feel like Dragon Ball Z was catered to kids, but it was not necessarily for kids. Like when we were seeing it as kids, but this was an opportunity to grow with something. Like, you know, oh, I'm still 10 years old, but this is still my favorite shit. 15, this is my favorite shit. 20 years old, okay, now maybe this is a problem, but I don't give a fuck. I like it. That's just what Dragon Ball Z, like, I feel like gave us. We're just able to rock with it and grow up with it, and it's just like the coolest shit ever. But I agree with everything that everybody said.
For sure.
No,
So
that's
it's part of course, like as far as the different parts, the different inner series within Dragon Ball's entirety, I think speak for everybody when I say that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were peak, just peak. You feel me? Fiction, peak animation, peak storytelling, everything as far as Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Now I want to gauge the question to Super and GT. So my question for Super is, do you believe that it helped the series in its entirety? And then my question for GT is, do you believe that it was because ultimately GT is counted as non-canon? So do you believe GT was something that was needed, or do you think it was just a project they felt like? And first, Akira Toriyama, just a little backstory. Akira Toriyama didn't even want to do GT. The only reason GT came out is because, you know, Dragon Ball was ending. The network, I think, I'm not going to say, I think it was Toei. I'm pretty sure it's Toei.
right.
But the network they were under was like, no, we need something more. You feel me? So that was the reason the birth of GT. But we all know GT is universally known as like the worst out of all the Dragon Ball series. So, like I said, the question is, do you believe Super helped the series, and do you believe GT was necessary, or could we, as a fan base, done without it? I'll start with Bombo on this one.
Ooh. See, okay, I'm gonna answer that GT part because I feel like it's tough. But as far as necessary, I'm gonna have to go with yes. Because, like we said, at some point we needed an ending for what Dragon Ball Z was, and that's GT's like occupied that seat until probably recently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Until we got Diamond. Because even when Super came, it didn't really necessarily give us that feel. It just was very seamless. The story that we got, and then the natural evolution of Goku, especially like Super Saiyan 4, the ties to the Ozaru, and just the swaggiest form that it is. I feel like it just felt like a right continuation, and like Fortunately for us, we got a new setup, which is super. But for the longest, GT was holding us down, and we actually enjoyed even watching. Like we can acknowledge that it's not the same as the rest of the product, but I like GT.
For sure.
Now, as far as super, I think that um, what was the question with super?
Do you think it helped the series in its entirety? Do you believe it was a helpful addition to the series?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That too, I'm gonna say yes to that because just like I was saying, I mean, GT felt necessary, but however, just to find out that it's not a natural product of Toriyama, that takes away from it, and that just like the story was just not hidden as much. It just had cool fronts to it. Like I said, Super Saiyan 4 and some of the arcs were fire. However, as a whole, it left you wondering because if we end in the story there and like you feel pretty robbed, and then also too just what's next for the Z fighters. You feel me? However, now like with Super, them choosing to reintroduce Goku and Vegeta, which is like the main cast that we've loved, and them almost seemingly portraying them in this path that's just gonna have them become eternal. I kind of fuck with because that's just who Goku was in my life. Like, that nigga's not gonna cease to be. Like I said, like growing up, ever since I was a kid, we're rocking with him. I rock with him today. So I kind of like the idea of him, like potentially, okay, he's walking that path of like, uh, of just becoming a deity almost, and just being eternalized in the Dragon Ball series.
No, for
So
sure. I definitely agree with you on both points. My answer was going to be yes. Again, I do think it's the worst as far as storytelling of all the series, but it gave us some great moments. Super Saiyan 4, it's a transformation that is my favorite transformation. I loved it in Daima, but I do believe GT Super Saiyan 4 is a better like character design than Daima Super Saiyan transformation. But
Right.
again, I do believe Diamonds is still fire. But like I said, but as far as GT, like there were certain parts in that, like I understand filler, but some of the filler was kind of hard to sit through. If anybody knows about the Power Brothers, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. But in its entirety, it gave us good moments. Super Saiyan 4, Super 17, again, one of my favorite villains of all time.
Mm.
Super 17, Baby, um, who else?
Oh,
Who else? I'm missing the Shadow Dragons. And like I
mm.
honestly I like that part of the series because it gave you like again, I'm always asking for more. And it's like, oh shit, like it's something even deeper going on with the fucking Dragon Balls. You feel me? Like they getting tired of being used, so now we finna come and kill y'all niggas. Like it's just
they should have just for Kenny.
you said what, Bumba?
I said they should have kept that aspect just for Kenny, so we don't have to hear him from now on.
Facts.
Bruh.
Nah, but in its entirety, I believe GT gave us necessary things, but overall, we just know it's not as good as everything else. And then Super, I believe, is needed because if you're going to continue a series like this, you're going to need to give us, like I keep saying, you need to give us more. You feel me? And I feel like it went to like there was no other direction you could go except for introducing the gods, introducing Ultra Instinct. Ultimately, if you read the manga, ultimately getting the Ultra Ego, like it was necessary for us because it's like after Boo, which gave you some insight into like divine power and things of that nature, more background with the Kais and stuff like that. But now your only option is just to go deeper in that. Is to go higher. Like let's get deeper into the Kais. Oh shit! Now we got more universes. Oh shit! Now we got gods of destruction. Now we got new stakes. You feel me? Like if we don't win this tournament, we're all going to cease to exist. You feel me? Like there's an actual hierarchy than to people like Frieza. You feel me? Running around the universe trying to be the ruler of the universe. You fast forward, you like, oh shit, this nigga not even the biggest threat in the universe, like for real. Like it's so much layers above Frieza that we didn't know that Super gave to us. So I definitely agree with everything Bamba said. My answer is gonna be yes for both. Vert, I'm gonna move it on to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, y'all just killed it. I agree with both of y'all, but just on GT, I feel like GT and Super have a symbiotic relationship where it's like no GT, no Super. Where I feel like Toriyama felt like he had to go continue the series because of GT. But GT literally gave us content and built out our Dragon Ball Z love for years and decades. And he did it with no source material. Like the fact that whole series was that long, it wasn't too long, but they created all that amongst themselves, you know, gave us new lore, new characters, and even took it in places that we didn't expect. I feel like GT set the foundation for maybe after Dragon Ball Super, where it's like, okay, what happens to a new series? Can we make a new series without no manga on a totally different storyline that satisfies the fan base? And even like, we might not look at GTS finally now. I think we look at it a little bit more fondly now than we did maybe like 10 years ago or so. But I feel like GT was absolutely needed and did wonders for like the whole lore of Dragon Ball Z, even like you said, Super Saiyan 4, because how many days or how many web searches did Super Saiyan 5 recreate? Like the lore that GT did was absolutely insane. Kid Goku even making it way like the Omega Shenron, where it's like, oh, it's punishment for all them wishes y'all did back in Z. That was a really interesting take. And of course, like it was some missteps, there's a lot of filler, but I feel like it was just a necessary tangent series right off the Dragon Ball Z because Toriyama didn't want to continue it. And I feel like Super did his thing, putting all that energy back into Dragon Ball Z right now. Like,
Facts.
bro, we got Broly movie, we got Super Gohan, we got Dragon Ball Z movies in the theaters now. Like
Facts.
Super, that's a masterclass in how to re-inject the fan base with so much love and energy and emotion. Like that's really amazing. It's still amazing now with Dama, but like Super is definitely needed. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, there's so much world building. We finally got a canon evil Goku, you know what I'm saying? Since I guess the Z movies, Turles is not really, you know what I'm saying, but it did so much heavy lifting. And I feel like without each other, none of it will exist. Like GT was needed for Super, and Super is literally, I feel like they're gonna have to trace some of the steps from GT because now that we look back, it's like GT didn't stay with building so much lore. Daima just put Super Saiyan 4 in there. Like, where did that come from? Where did all
Right.
this evil stuff come from? This evil arc that's like, oh, it's some more here. Like, actually, I think I like GT more than Super just because of all the heavy lifting it did for that almost two decades without it, without Dragon Ball Z and Toriyama.
I mean that, and the thing is, like me a few years ago, I might have judged you for that last part of the take, but now it's just like it's not a crazy take because I think, especially Dragon Ball fans, that they're going like
Mhm.
you go back these days and you just look at the entirety of GT, because at first it's like the only thing good about this is Super Saiyan 4, but then you go back and you look at it, it's just like no, they were really cooking in some aspects here. They could have just touched on it a little better. You feel me?
Right.
So no, I definitely agree with everything that you said. Kenny, you want to end us off and then we'll move on. I got one more question for this section, then we'll get into the last section.
So y'all know I didn't watch GT, not like all the way through. I think I might have caught episodes on TV as a kid. Is that the one where the Goku, not Goku, the Gohan and Vegeta fighting that one?
Ooh.
What you
Was there a
mean?
Gohan versus Vegeta in GT?
Yeah, there was.
Did
Gohan
they
pulled
kill
up.
each other?
Nah. Gohan pulled up on Vegeta and Bulla while they was just cruising on the highway. And Bulla was like, "That's Uncle Gohan. What is he doing?"
That's the baby arc, right?
Yeah, that's the very beginning of the baby arc. And
Mm,
Vegeta was like, "That's not Gohan." You feel me? Like he realized that off top, like, nah, something
Wait, so
wrong with
does
this
baby look
nigga.
like Gohan or something?
Nah,
Nah.
so basically what Baby did was he controlled the minds of different people around the planet for his ultimate goal. And then there's Vegeta. I mean, Baby ultimately took control of Vegeta's body, and that's how he was able to become Super Baby and get Saiyan powers and have these crazy ass transformations. That nigga was a golden great ape for a while, like, like, especially like, nah, I ain't gonna lie to you
yeah.
because the one of the questions in the last section that
Bring it back to Cooper.
talks about the video games. This nigga Baby in the video games was a fucking issue. I used to hate fighting against that nigga, bro.
Chico.
Like,
Wait,
but
didn't they introduce Baby's race in the Tournament of Power?
they introduced it. I remember them talking about the Tuffles way before the Tournament of
I,
Power.
but they
Are
but
you?
they showed one, right?
I think they did show a tough one. We might have to fact check
Yeah,
that.
the nigga
Yeah,
that was
I'm looking
Goku,
at baby on Google right now. I don't remember seeing somebody look like him in the tournament power.
I think there
Not
was.
it
His race
wasn't
look
going.
different
It
than how
was
he looked.
yeah. It's not. He's not going to look like baby specifically.
Cause he like a parasite or something, basically,
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
he? Yeah. That
But
was cold. Even that storyline was wild. Like that's some it get tied right back into the Saiyans. Y'all did
facts.
this. I'm getting revenge for my race on y'all. Like that was
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Even before Frieza's family took control, the Saiyans were wild, and
wild,
these niggas were in space just doing anything and everything.
bro. Terrible people. Do y'all remember that scene when Vegeta and Nappa was sitting on a rock eating alien, just eating them. I was like,
And that's what pissed me off in Diamond because he had the nerve to look at Goku and like, you eating bugs? And Goku was like,
He
I
said
bet
my
you eat.
palate is involved.
I wanted them to put a flashback of this nigga eating a whole person. You feel me?
But come
Like,
on,
mhm,
Parville. I'm married to the richest woman on the planet. You think I'm eating bugs, nigga?
this nigga
No.
ate a whole alien.
yeah.
He at the point where we saw him, he was at
I
his
was in the
arm.
trenches.
You said what?
I'm up now. I was in the trenches. I'm up now.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Remember where you came from, boy.
Look, Goku ain't never ate one of those.
Goku not doing that. Go. Mm-mm.
But Kenny, like you said, you ain't seen GT, so you could just answer for the superpower. How do you think it helped in its entirety of the series?
I mean, it kind of gave them a new goal because, like, at one point, you just like, okay, how many levels of Super Saiyan are there? So now we get to like tap into the God powers. And it was kind of like a humbling moment too, in Super that was needed because I feel like it got to a certain point, at least in Dragon Ball Z, was like, okay, y'all done beat Frieza, y'all beat Cell, y'all done beat Boo now. Like Boo is the craziest thing we seen walking. And then we see like somebody like Jiren come through and that's dog walking everybody. Like to the point where he's so strong you literally can't hit him because he got like a force field around. You're not even strong enough to break through his aura. Like we ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Mhm.
Not only that, we ain't never seen nobody deflect a spirit bomb.
This nigga Jiren was meditating like the first half of the tournament power. He barely he fought, but if you really think about the entirety, he barely fought that whole fucking tournament.
He ain't have
Majority
to.
majority of that tournament was him meditating. Like that
Yeah.
just that's how crazy it is.
Wow.
But so I really think it's gonna depend on what happens after now, if we're gonna continue Super or if it's gonna be another spinoff because when Diamond came out and I didn't watch it yet, I assumed it was gonna be after the tournament power. I didn't expect it to be in between from the tournament power to there.
Mhm.
So its impact is really gonna be dependent upon like what happens next. Like I know the manga's still going. I'm not reading it. So I mean I feel like y'all the two who actually read the manga. Wait, Bert, do you read the manga too?
No, not for real.
So it's gonna be up to y'all. Y'all know what happens. Y'all know about Ultra Ego. Y'all know about Black Frieza.
Right.
Uh,
Granola and Moro.
yeah. So y'all would have the answer to that. 'Cause I don't know. I don't
Look,
know what happens in the
When,
manga.
when you said what you said earlier about the Saiyans, my mind shot straight to granola, and I was like, yeah.
look, when I tell you, and this is about to bring me to the end of this section, onto the final section, but the last question is going to be, what more do you want to see from Dragon Ball from what you've seen thus far? For me, I need that Moro arc and that Granola arc animated immediately. Though, if we're talking about storytelling, those are, I'm not saying they the best, but once they get animated, they might be top three because
The best by far.
like oh my lord, those arcs are so tough, dog. But in its entirety, bro, I just want them, whatever the next series is, I want them to animate, the arcs that they've already done in manga. But I also do want to see a little bit of, I don't want Gohan and Piccolo to get power ups and then be pushed to the background again. You feel me? Like this nigga Orange Pick. And I recently just read an excerpt from Toyotaro, who's taking over the responsibilities from Toriyama. Goku at his full power, Vegeta at his full power, Piccolo at his full power, Gohan at his full power, and Broly at his full power. All of them currently are at the baseline, same level.
Huh?
These are
Piccolo?
Piccolo
Yeah.
Or that new power up.
are at the same level. If you're going to do that, do not push. I think, and this is one thing I will say that One Piece, even Fairy Tale, does amazingly. They give each of their characters a fight. Not just fighting side villains. Like they give them an important fight, and that fight will last episodes. That is what they need to do with these niggas. The next threat that comes along. If everybody can't fight, the main villain at the same time, you better put some comparable villains in front of them so we can see their powers, so we can see them shine. You feel me? Either die or die trying to win. You feel me?
I
Like
don't
that's
like
what I
that.
want to see.
I don't like that though.
Why?
We don't
The
go
reason I
too
don't.
light.
Okay, let me explain why. When was the last time Piccolo and Goku were actually similar in strength?
After he absorbed Kami.
So we talking the very beginning of we talking about the Namek saga
Right.
or Frieza saga. My fault. We talking about Frieza saga.
Right.
So all the training Goku has put in the hyperbolic time chamber, all the near-death experiences, all the death of coming back, the God training. You telling me Piccolo get one power boost and he catches up to all of that?
Piccolo was near their power before Cell.
Yeah, the Android saga. He took on semi-perfect Cell.
Yeah.
Regardless, that even from we go from the Cell saga to where we are in Super and wherever else. Now we got Super Saiyan 4 we've gotten now with Daima. We kind of rewritten history. But these guys have God Key, Ultra Instinct, and you tell me one power up from the Cell saga.
I have a question. Did you watch the movie?
He did.
Which
I just
one?
want to know.
Which movie?
Superhero.
The last superhero.
Nah.
Because I was saying he's power level, the way you see him transform, there is more to his transformation than the other niggas. So that kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta watch the movie.
Yeah, you gotta watch
You
the
should.
movie. You gotta
I gotta
watch the
watch it.
movie, and it's like not his progression didn't fumble. You feel me? Like his progression didn't fumble at all. I think his placement did not do him justice because even to a point, like him and Gohan in the Tournament of Power were basically working together. Like neither of them really had much of it. Like they both had their individual moments, but neither of them really had a shine. But you could see that both of them had powered up and both of them were able to hold his own. But like Bamba said, you do got to watch the movie because the transformation he got in the movie tells a deeper story about his Namekian origin and how he was able to harness and get to this power. You feel me? So
And then Daima adds some more to it.
yeah, Daima adds a lot
thanks.
more to it. So yeah, Kenny, you got to enjoy it because having 5 niggas on the same power level and they all OD, yeah, bro, you got to. But that's what I want to see. But Vert, let me know what you want to see in the future of Dragon Ball.
I agree with everything you said. I really want to see some different character. I think we need a time jump in a totally different series, similar to how GT went on a tangent from Dragon Ball Z, kind of went its own route. I feel like we need that to start bubbling up on its own somewhere. Like give us some cool characters, some really great villains, and just start that going alongside the continuation of Super. Because I feel like if they do the team up vibe, where it's like, okay, everybody, we got this Power Five now, which we haven't really seen in Dragon Ball Z. We've seen the Z fighters, but that fell off quickly. It just Goku and Vegeta for a long time. We can see some cool storylines, arcs where we see some teamwork, especially with Broly. But I feel like we need to do that time jump and start something else in the universe, or maybe give us some more mini series into certain episodes. I mean, certain parts of Dragon Ball Z, like what happened when Trunks went back to the future before the Goku Black thing, and insert some villains in there and build that all the way out. What's happened? I know villains didn't stop existing. We just lost Z fighters on Earth. People probably still kept coming and seeing where Goku was at. Did Trunks at? I need to see some more universe stuff because I feel like even with Super, we've reached God level stuff. It's really nothing. It's nothing too much past that, and they might have jumped the gun by even doing that so early. So I feel like we need to see even like the Super Dragon Ball stuff. We need Like that's a really big thing that we only seen a little bit of so far. So I haven't read the Granola and Moral arc yet, but I know for a fact we need a
Right.
tangent series with something, maybe a time jump, distant connection to Dragon Ball Z, possibly Oob, maybe a Oob series. Go ahead, do that. Let's see what Oob doing. Let's see what he doing. Like we need
Definitely
more.
him again.
I want them to do that with super like the other universes from the
Oh,
Tournament of
facts.
Power. Like let's go
Facts.
see what Broly and them doing. Not Broly, Jiren.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
See what's going
That's
on in
Oh yeah.
Jiren.
Nah, and that's what I was about. I'm glad you brought that up, Kenny, because that's what I was going to tie from Bird. Like miniseries, I want to see because there's one thing that Kaba said to Vegeta that sticks with me and angers me that Vegeta didn't have more interest in doing this. But Kaba told Vegeta, "You really remind me of the king of our planet."
Ooh.
I want to see Vegeta go to what it's still
Yeah,
called
saying
Planet
what planet?
Sadala in Universe 6. I want to see him go there. I want to see
Mhm.
him interact with all the Saiyans. I want to see him meet the king. Like
Right.
that would just be that'd be emotional and that'd just be a crazy scene. You feel me? I also want to see the Saiyans in Universe 7 come back. I just want to see how that would end up happening. You feel me? Because like
Never.
it's never going to happen, but they had so much opportunity. I need Bardock to meet Goku. It's
Yeah.
just it's a lot because
To me,
outside of Vegeta, Bardock is my favorite Saiyan dog. Like that nigga is so raw. Like it's
Why don't they just wish him back?
questions
When they
that
the
need
rule
I feel like
too
answers.
that's
long.
a genuine question now, especially in Super. That is actually a genuine
Oh
question in
yeah.
the story moving forward.
That's what I'm saying because they could have done it. They could have been did it.
Because technically Goku didn't remember about him, but like after Granola, he's like, "Oh yeah, this your dad, meet him."
Facts. Not and
Mhm.
that was actually dope for them. To storytelling's amazing.
Wait, another
Storytelling.
question. All the times Goku would have been to hell and heaven. Where Saiyans at? Where they at?
Planet,
Uh,
planet,
there
planet.
Oh, dang, yeah, true.
it's just like I think it's one of those to where like they weren't able to keep their bodies. You feel me?
And
Because
each planet has a pocket in like in the afterlife,
facts.
as far as living.
Also, yeah, that's not their plan is heaven or hell either.
That might be a good thing to introduce, like a universal hell, like or
Facts.
universal heaven, like all souls. Period.
Facts. We meet up here every month or so.
Yeah.
Um, but not Bomba. Did you get a chance to go?
No, sir.
Go ahead, man.
So when you asked me the question, I thought you meant like a continuation, and I was thinking of the whole series. So from even like all the way to where we at in the manga and
I
Super.
mean, it can
What
be that. You feel me? Like I was just saying.
I, no, I get it, but what I personally want to see, and I feel like I high key feel like that's what the story is setting up, is another tournament of power. However, this time like a tournament of power that's deadly. If y'all remember, there was 3 universes that were said to be too OP. Them niggas did not need to take into this tournament of power. However, now I feel like where Toyotara is at now, we got 5 niggas on the same power level. Granola still around, Mir is still around, and Oob is still around. It has to be another tournament of power. One that has higher stakes and maybe one that can even potentially go for your life. Nobody's coming in, no funny shit about coming back alive. No, you said it are dangerous.
We can't hear you, Bamba. We can't hear you, Bamba.
You can't hear me?
Now we
Now we
can.
can.
You gotta
It
put
was
the
a little
mic
low.
closer.
Oh, so yeah, I ain't hear none of what I said. But basically, I said tournament of power. You got 5 niggas that are on the same power level, and then on top of that, we have y'all. I mean, y'all didn't read the manga, but we have a character named Mirrors. We got Granola. We got Oob, and Oob power level is actually quite real. And also, we got Black Frieza. So I feel like make that tournament of power happen between these strongest universes, and let it be something with higher stakes, something that can potentially like lead to death or whatnot. You feel me?
Mhm.
Wait, they brought
That's
Oob
just
back in
what
the
I see.
manga?
Uber's been alive since Dragon Ball Z, but they showed him like his power level. We
Mm.
already know is right there. Like you know what I'm saying. Even in the manga.
Facts. Kenny ending off with you. Or wait, you did say what you wanted to see, right? Okay, bet. All right,
Yeah.
last section. We appreciate everybody for hanging out with us up to this point. It's a really good conversation. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, so I'm gonna skip that one because I feel like we answered that earlier. So it's much of a fun question. We all watch sports, you feel me? Football, basketball, baseball, whatever you into. Which DBZ character, which real life athlete reminds you of a DBZ character? If you could pick anybody. For me, I'm gonna say to me, Goku and Gohan remind me a lot of LeBron and Bronny. Every time I see Bron and Bronny, I'm like, that's Goku and Gohan, dog. It has to be. It has to be. It's so much. This little nigga got so much potential, and his dad's the goat. You feel me? That's that's just an easy comparison to me. But y'all might have something different. Let me see what you got.
I feel I get Ginyu Force vibes from a lot of the NBA. Like I feel like Zarbon, that's like Shea Alexander, Jeez. I'll just get that vibe. Like what's his name? Jeez. I get that. I look at Ja Morant, that could be Jeez with the red hair from Planet Namek.
Facts.
I feel like a lot of Krillin activity and some of the point guards, like it's just a lot of side character, you know what I'm saying, stuff going on in the NBA.
Okay, I fuck with that. Mamba, you got any comparisons?
I did nothing as good as Giles, man. I'm gonna go with Goku, and I'm gonna say Lionel Messi. You
Okay,
feel
cool.
me? Yeah, you got to go with talent, that talented person, somebody that's about hard work, and somebody that whenever they're on your team, you most likely will win. There's just you can't bet against him. So I'm gonna go with Messi.
Real quick before Kenny go, when I was asking this question to one of my friends earlier, I really didn't understand it, but he was like, Piccolo remind me of Kendrick Lamar. And I was like, huh. I said, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I would like him to extend it, Carlos.
I asked him to expand and he hung up. So there's that.
Death Row Lee, what up?
I'm dead. Kenny, bro, give me a comparison.
All right, hear me out.
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh God.
From 2015. No, wait, I'm tripping. Let's go from like 2015, yeah, 2015 to like 2018. Steph Curry was Frieza.
What? What? Explain your
I
comparison.
hated that man.
bro might have cooked here. And bro,
Is it
bro
because
Hated
they
that
got the
man.
because they got the same shaped head? Is that it?
Yeah, bro, I hated that man,
which
bro.
form?
The final form?
Final form
Final
Frieza.
form Frieza.
Steph Curry was final form Frieza. It was pissing me off.
Hey man.
That's some sick rhetoric right there.
That's a crazy comparison. I've been sitting over here trying to think of some other ones, but Kenny just fucked my head up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
A light skinned nigga calling niggas monkey would have been fire. Not gonna lie.
I think
my
Jalen
God.
Brunson is Krillin.
You said
Jalen
Jalen
Brunson's
Brunson is Krillin?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at
Why?
that.
Explain.
Just reminds me of Krillin. It's like when you look at Jalen Brunson, he's an undersized point guard who don't have no jumping ability, but he still get buckets. And then you see Krillin, he's just a regular human being, but he hanging around all the strongest niggas
At that height, that boy,
at the
what
little
is
ass
6'3"?
height.
Good compare. Facts. Anthony Edwards, who y'all say he is?
Ants.
Anthony Edwards.
A little cocky ass nigga.
That's what I'm saying. Trunks, the kid Trunks.
Oh, that
Oh,
nigga's yeah.
Yeah, kid Trunks.
I feel like
That nigga's
KD
a
might be like
menace.
semi-perfect Cell. Oh, actually, the first version of Cell might be KD.
Wait,
I ain't gonna lie, don't
wait.
forget, some people say KD the best NBA player, and I feel like in that Cell timeline where he killed Trunks, that might be the only timeline where, you know what I'm saying, that's the
Hey,
KD timeline where KD the GOAT.
You can't.
Anthony Edwards is Go Tanks, bro.
Hey, you can say Go Tanks,
I can see that. Just
but
with
I
his
see
antics.
Go Tanks got majority of Trunks' personality, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Fair.
that little nigga Trunks is a shit talker.
Man's a menace.
That
Facts.
nigga. I'm trying to think if there's
Oh, it's
anybody
Trey
else.
Young.
You said Trey Young.
Yeah, maybe Baby Trunks. He be trash talking too.
Trey Young
Yeah.
might be Goten. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, Jimmy Butler. I feel like Jimmy Butler low-key get Piccolo vibes.
I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna say Vegeta.
Vegeta.
I was gonna say Jimmy Butler.
Little angry ass nigga.
The
I feel
angry.
like
Yeah,
angry.
Vegeta makes sense because he be talking smack and he will put in that work still. You know what I'm
And also just I feel like he be trying to prove himself all the time. Like the whole
saying?
situation was the Timberwolves. It was because he was trying to get paid. You feel me? He was like,
Yeah,
y'all ain't shit without me. Like pay me. You feel
right.
me?
Probably, I feel like for LeBron, you should have went with hit.
You said I should have went with hit.
Hit.
Yeah,
Why
for LeBron
specifically hit?
because he's 1,000 years old.
I'm dead. And that's moving on to the
That's
next
crazy.
question.
You
So
LeBron hate.
have all of us played Dragon Ball video games? Everybody's played at
Mhm.
least one Dragon Ball Z video game.
Yeah, I don't think I played too much of the story mode on either one of them though.
Okay. If you have to give your favorite one that you played though, what would be your favorite Dragon Ball Z
Man,
game?
easily that Budokai Tenkaichi. I think maybe whichever ones came out like '07. One of them. I think it was maybe
3.
PS2. 3. Yeah, Tenkaichi 3. And then Raisin Blast 2.
Niggas don't know about Rage of Blast. Rage of Blast 2 is like that. It's not as good as Tenkaichi 3,
Mhm.
but yeah, that hoe was like that. That
They
hoe was
did
like
that.
I ain't gonna lie to
Facts.
you.
Little Willow, what up?
For me, it's a tie between I'm a story mode junkie. I love story modes. I usually don't play online with any game. Uh
Jesus.
you said what?
Huh?
Okay. I'm gonna just keep going. Um okay. Mine's a tie between Budokai 3 and Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The reason for Budokai 3 is because that one had an open world story mode to where you have to play as like 14, 15 different characters and you're doing their
Mhm.
stories, but you're also flying around, you feel me, going to your different missions, and then you also have bonus stories within each
Mhm.
character story mode, and then you have to finding the Dragon Balls in between each arc is crucial because those Dragon Balls give you different wishes, like unlocking
Mhm.
a whole character's move set, hidden items, hidden clothes, things of that nature. It just made the experience better. But Budokai Tenkaichi 3, to me, it perfected the arena fighting style that they did. It had the biggest, I think, like 172 characters. You feel me? Had the biggest lineup out of every Dragon Ball Z game to date. The story mode was cool. One thing I liked about their story mode though, is they had the what if sagas. You feel me? So it was a whole bunch of dream matchups within that story mode. Um, and then honorable mention, I got to give it to the first Budokai. The first Budokai really laid the groundwork for all the games. Like it was really cold. And one thing that was good about that game is they had a Hercule mode. Basically, it was like the cell game. It was set up as the cell games, but you had to fight as Hercule. But after
Yeah,
every
Mama love
fight,
that.
you didn't go back to full strength. You had to basically like you would get a little bit of health from where you left off at, but that's it.
Oh hell no.
You had to go through every single person until you got to Cell, and you had to win. If you say
Ooh.
this is fight 3 and you got to fight Android 16 and you win, but fight 4 your next fight is Piccolo and you lost. You don't start back off at Piccolo. You start back from the beginning. So it was hard,
Oh,
but
that's horrible.
that those are my games. Like I'm a Dragon Ball Z game junkie, so I could go all day. But Bomba, if you got a game that was your favorite, let me hear it.
I mean, we all got Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That's the best one by far. But another one I think deserves some praise is Fighter Z. That 2D gaming fight, like that shit I used to be in my room just going ham by myself. And
Mhm.
like especially I can also appreciate the storyline that it offers us.
Mhm.
That's something pretty unique to itself. Android 21 and
Ooh.
just a lot of nostalgia in the game, man. That shit is fire. and
Facts.
cheap.
Now I agree with you. The only thing is I don't like fighters. I do think it's a good game. I don't like it because I'm not good at the arcade style games. I've always except for Tekken and Mortal Kombat, I'm decent at those. But all the other
Mm.
ones, like I'm complete ass water. Fighters was no different. I was getting my ass handed to me.
Mhm.
So you just because
I was there for that.
I won one fight. Kenny, stop playing with me. Um, just because I don't like that kind of fighting style, I never got to play the story mode, but I watched it all on YouTube. So the story mode is actually great on that game.
I'm
Um,
fucking.
Kenny, you can end it off for us, man.
I got an unpopular opinion. I'm not gonna say Budokai 3 like everybody else, but Budokai 2, I played the hell out of that one.
Budokai 2 or Tenkaichi 2?
Budokai 2.
Like did you play the story mode on that one?
Yeah.
The one where they're like game pieces and they hopping
Yep.
around.
I played
Kenny
the hell
know
out of that one.
Kenny knows ball, boy. Kenny knows ball.
I played the hell out of that one. Like I beat
Mm.
that. I probably played that story mode so many times.
That story mode's fire. Fun
I was
fact.
also let you do your own tournament too. Like
Mm-hmm.
so I did that a bunch. You used to win Zenny. You can unlock characters like different costumes, and then you get them like the moves too. You can buy the moves.
Facts.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Facts.
so I
Yeah,
like
nah,
that one.
Kenny knows ball. Fun fact, I be having like I'll say every other Saturday, I'll dust off the PS2, I'll put in Budokai 2 and Budokai 3 and just play the story modes all day, bruh. Like
Wow.
those story modes are timeless, dog.
Mm.
And it's funny that Kenny mentioned that specifically because that's the one I played last Saturday.
I'll
So
see.
hey man, those are crazy. All right, just a couple questions left and we're gonna end it off. So
Oh,
um if you could create a spinoff focused on any character, who would it be and why? Who would it be and why?
Oh,
hmm.
Kenny always with the awe. Go ahead.
because I'd be like, who? And then I get a light bulb. I'm picking Jiren again. I want to see how strong the enemy was that killed his family. I
Yeah,
just want to see how strong his universe is, and like how he got to the point where he could go one on one versus like Ultra Instinct. Like, how do you even get that level with like no? He didn't even use like no transformations or nothing. It's like imagine if Jiren got like a transformation or some shit.
facts.
Mm.
OD.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. In Spark and Zero, that's the one character I have not beaten online. Jiren is a fucking cheat code, bro. He's not supposed to move that fast for how big he is, dog. Like it's
Mm.
insane. Vert, go ahead, give me your spinoff. Who would you
Spinoff.
do a spinoff and why?
Uh, I ain't gonna lie. I need to spin off on the Frieza family. I need to see what King Cole, Frieza, Cooler. What was that like? How did they become the emperors of the universe or the galaxy? How we know to this point? What's like the? And I hope they touch into like the power of standing. Like Beerus, what was Beerus doing back then before we seen Frieza blow up? You know the Saiyan planet. Like I think we need that backstory on Frieza, that whole race, or at least that just that family. How did y'all get all this stuff?
His birth.
What do y'all do?
Facts. Nah, I fuck with that. And that's one thing I meant to mention earlier, when we were talking about what do we want to see, moving forward in the series. I want
Mm,
to see Cooler canon. Cooler needs to be canon. We made Broly canon. We can make Cooler canon, dog. Cause
it's needed.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just random theory. What if they bring this nigga Cooler back with Black Frieza? Like that would be insane. Cooler and Frieza coming back together would be insane.
That'd be cold.
Bomba, what about you?
Can I have two?
Yes, sir.
'Cause I got two.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the first one I think we just mentioned earlier, which is Future Trunks. I just want to see what his new life in the new timeline that he's going in, what that's gonna be like, and what is gonna unfold over there. So that would be quite interesting, especially considering that there's two Trunks in that timeline. I just want to see for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All
what
right.
is gonna happen there? Shit. And one, Vert, you mentioned it, Beerus. I want to get Beerus' origin story, especially like now when we understand how the God of Destructions are brought about. That this was a regular person, and that this power that he is at is his
Mm,
power. You know what I'm saying? Like we see Champa on that end, but Champa is nowhere near Beerus. Beerus is literally the strongest God of Destruction. So what his life was like, and also too, we'll get they're twins. So if we get his story, we're also gonna get Champa's story a little bit. I understand why this one is slacking up, where this one is reigning as the strongest. I want to see like their
Right.
beginning.
Facts. No, I'm not gonna lie to you, Bamba. I like those. But Beerus, do you know how long that series is gonna be? Do you know how old this nigga is?
Man, dog.
That's
He
gonna.
been
Couple time
sleeping for the
skips.
longest.
You said what?
He just be sleeping.
Nigga,
He been
now,
sleeping for centuries.
now, again, what about when he was trying to become the god of destruction?
He was living, so he didn't have eternal life yet. That's what I was saying. Give me that.
Hey, you right, you right, you right, you right.
Mhm.
All
But
right.
okay, this might be a dumb question. Do the angels make you a god of destruction?
No,
So
they train
who was the
the god
previous
of the
god of
previous god of
destruction before
destruction.
Beerus?
Still got
Say that again, Bomba. It was cutting out.
I said the previous god of destruction makes you the god of destruction.
Yeah.
I want to know what's the connection between the Kais and the God of Destruction. Like, who made these rules and established that whole system? Where it's
I'm
like,
not
oh,
gonna
the
lie
Kai
to
died.
you. That's a great question, and that's dumb as shit. Because if a Supreme Kai died, that means the God of Destruction dies. Like that's insane.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, there could. What's the name? Supreme Kai is tied to Beerus,
Mhm.
and there was
Yeah, they're
a there was an episode in Super where Whis was explaining that to Goku. Like if Supreme Kai dies, that means Beerus dies as well. And Goku was like, so wait, if I ever wanted to get rid of Beerus, I just gotta kill this nigga over here? Bad.
That's
Bad.
basically how Zamasu killed the gods of destruction in the future too.
Facts.
Mhm.
He just went after all the Kais. He knew he wasn't he knew he wasn't in my
Any
best.
ask me that you shocked? I just want to clarify that is not by nature. They make it happen just to maintain a balance. So like once you become the god of destruction and this person becomes the Kai, then that tie is made. But who
Mhm.
makes it?
It's probably
Could be
gotta
them.
be Zeno, right? That's what they all call like they all follow Zeno.
It could be also the what you might call it. We just got introduced in Daima to the other supreme beings, some that we haven't met before.
Oh,
So some
mhm.
are created. So it could be one of them. Because
Facts.
one of them made the guilds the Kais, which that is most likely him.
Facts.
Mhm.
I will say for me, the two things because I had two as well. Um, no, first one would be the backstory of Master Roshi, seeing how he.
Mhm.
I feel like that because one again, especially with animation today, the fights would be so clean. You feel me? Because this is before gods, Saiyans, Namekians, all that. You feel me? Like they just dealing with each other. So finding out what Master Roshi went through, how he created the Kamea wave, how he figured out key control, why he chose to never fly, because he still can't fly.
Mhm.
You feel me?
And
He,
also how he's sensei. Carlos,
ha-
let's go there. I can't lie.
yeah,
He
you feel
saw Demon Piccolo from the get go. He saw it. What did you see then that day?
facts. And because remember, Goku, I can't remember the specifically how, but Goku was able to go back and fight with Master Roshi Sensei. You feel me? Like he went back in
Yeah.
time, met young Roshi, met his sensei,
Mhm.
sparred with him and things like that. So I just feel like that'd be OD. And then the second one would be, of course, Bardock. I need to see Bardock from a child. Who is this nigga father? Forget Grandpa Gohan. Who is Goku's actual grandpa? You feel me? Like I want to see that backstory, and maybe even a third one. Who is Zalama? Where did he come from? You feel me? He's supposed to be the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. What's his story? You feel me? How
Mhm.
did he get out of the demon realm? You feel me? So that would be my choices. But the last question of the night, one thing that we continuously said throughout all of these is that the transformations is what impact is and was one of the biggest impacts in Dragon Ball. So to you, to you, which transformation had the most impact? Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct, or anything else? I'll start this off since it's the last question. To me, nothing will be more impactful than the original Super Saiyan form. Because again, yes, Ultra Instinct was a legendary form as well that the gods didn't even achieve. But as far as impact and what made Dragon Ball Z, This was the legendary Super Saiyan. This is supposedly before, you feel me, we found out that Beerus was the one who ordered Frieza to destroy Planet Vegeta, regardless if he was ordered to or not. He was still afraid of the legendary Super Saiyan. So this is the transformation that led to Frieza being scared enough to excommunicate a whole entire race. This is something that Vegeta thought was his birthright to achieve, but also was aware that nobody had achieved it in thousands and thousands of years. You feel me? Like this is it was unheard of. We didn't think we would get this far, and then to go to a point where it's our backs up or against the wall. You just killed my best friend, and now I'm achieving this form, and I'm also because it established what we were going to get moving forward as far as, oh shit, now what do we do? Oh, now we got to find a level beyond Super Saiyan. Gohan unlocked that back against the wall. Oh shit, we in a Buu saga. What do we do now? We found out Goku was in the other world training and he unlocked that. Then you got Super Saiyan 4. And then it gets to a point where, yes, you can say God was also impactful, but you got to remember the original God form was basically just Goku as a god in base form. And then he was able to become a Super Saiyan in his god form. You feel me? Like, it's the most impactful for me because it sets the standard for even more impactful transformations later down the line. So that is my final, you feel me, point, and that's the one I'm going with. Vert, I'm gonna go off with you next, man.
Man, Super Saiyan, that's legendary for sure. I don't think nothing can top that for real, but I ain't gonna lie. I think fusion might be the coolest transformation. I know it's not technically like a transformation per character, but I think fusion, I feel like it introduced something I never even thought about until that point. Like, oh, two characters can fuse and create new characters, Gotenks, Gogeta, Vegito. And I feel like that added so much value to the whole story and to the whole canon because now we can think about all these new connections and collaboration amongst two characters that might even become one, even with the Potara versus the fusion dance. Like, I think that whole idea of fusing two characters together to make a new one is legendary. I feel like that does a lot of heavy lifting, and we haven't even seen peak fusions yet. Like, what happens when we get a Jiren fusion? Like, some totally different with something else, Jiren and Broly. Let's say in some type of storyline, like what would that look like? Or even a Samasu and Goku Black, and had one part of the fusion dying. Like, I feel like it's a lot there that we just now scratching the surface. It doesn't have to just be one transformation that ends in this way and we both time out or something. Like, I really think fusion is a really interesting transformation that came out.
No, and I like that you brought up the Zamasu and the Goku Black because even though the Zamasu stole Goku's body, you are still, this is now the first fusion that we're getting where it's two different species. You feel me? Like this is
Right.
a Kai. This is supposed to be a divine being fusing with a mortal. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like that in itself is insane.
Mhm.
Like that fusion was so OD, dog. Like it was so OD. Kenny, go ahead, go next, man.
But y'all bringing the fusion, I just had an idea. So what
Uh-oh.
happens if like, somebody fuses with the Patara earrings, right? And then they do the fusion dance with somebody else. Can they do that?
Carlo, Kenny be thinking in Dragon Ball superhero. That's what he be thinking in. What's
Can
that
can
one that's not canon?
Facts,
can you
because
do
That's
that?
tough.
Kenny, I'm not. It's not canon, but go watch Dragon Ball superheroes on YouTube. It's not a story, like it's a animation to basically promote the video game superheroes, but they did it so much to where like it has a story, but it's not deep. You feel me? Like, but they introduced so many new characters. They introduced crazy ass fusions. Like what
Ooh.
you just said is something that happened in that shit. Like that's
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of those fights were crazy.
Oh no,
Bomba, if you know the what's that the one OD nigga before they moved on after him, Hearts, that
Yeah,
nigga's
with the
Oh,
OD.
you talking
master.
about Dragon Ball Heroes?
yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
that
Wait,
show
I
is
got I
insane.
just thought of something.
Animation that shit fire.
What if two separate people do the fusion dance and then they put our earring together? So that's four.
Did you just say what you just said in
No,
reverse?
no, no. The first one was what if they do the fusion dance? I mean, what if they do the Patari ring, just two people, and then one other person does the fusion dance with them? What
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying
okay.
is, what if Gotenks and Vegito Patari ring together?
Right.
So it's
But I
two
think that's the
fusions
problem
that are
with that.
not fused together.
How they gonna mix the audio for that character?
That nigga's going to explode. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like that
That'd be
that
insane.
nigga might explode.
This is
that's
what they
OD.
did. They didn't do a fusion, but they made like that first fusion, and then the two other niggas gave them their power,
Facts.
so that you don't do too much. But yeah, that'll be OD.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
think
Who
they.
is
lie.
they fighting?
You said what?
Who is they fighting at this
I
point?
don't know.
Well, they might have been. It was either Hearts or the evil Saiyan. It was like it was a berserk Saiyan that had OD power, but
Mhm.
he didn't
Yeah,
even turn Super Saiyan until like the second part of the series, dog. He
that
was
nigga was
boxing.
keeping up with everybody.
That's what I'm saying. He was boxing as a regular, literally no power up, no transformation, nothing, with a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and a Super Saiyan Blue Goku at the same time. And even Super when they introduced, there was a fight when they had Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Super Saiyan Blue. That should have been longer, cause that's OD.
Wait, Super Saiyan? You're talking about Ultra Instinct?
You said what?
You're talking about Ultra Instinct?
Nah, 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 nah. I'm talking about Super Saiyan Blue when they like it was one of the first episodes when Goku and
Oh, I thought
Vegeta.
you were talking about two Gokus. I thought you were talking about two Gokus.
Yeah, no, the two it only got to Blue and Super Saiyan 4.
Mhm.
He had
They're
it.
fighting against
Yeah,
each other.
their first fight. Their first fight.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that one. My
Yeah.
bad.
I ain't
So
mean
like,
to go on a tangent. My transformation is Super Saiyan. I'm picking that.
Okay. The same reasons I
I,
picked it.
yeah, it's just iconic. Like what Bird was talking about earlier, like or Bomb was just in your room screaming, like
Yeah.
it's just that's just it.
It gets the people going.
Enough said.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I
All
think Super
right.
Saiyan 3 up there too though.
Super Saiyan 3 is up there.
That's
Super
probably the
Saiyan.
With
craziest
that
transformation
electricity going
outside.
around you.
Like
That's what
and
I'm
the
saying.
hair.
Like
Like
if you do the most impactful for each, is definitely Goku turning Super Saiyan first. His Super Saiyan 3 when he first showed it, that's impactful. Super Saiyan 2 when Gohan finally that's impactful. Like Lord have
Super
mercy.
Saiyan 2 is always kind of not trash to me, but it was just like,
they nerfed it so fast, bro. It's like Super Saiyan 2.
yeah.
well, don't shit on
Bully.
my pick.
Super Saiyan 2 is like Gear 2 Luffy.
Don't shut the fuck up. Don't shit. And Gear Two Luffy was
Gear
legendary.
2 Luffy was cold. That's my
It was
favorite gear.
legendary. That nigga was
Gear 2 is
smoking.
your favorite one?
Gear 5 is awful, dog.
Gear
I'm not gonna
4,
lie
Gear
to you.
4 is way better than Gear 2.
Which one? Snake Man?
Kong Man too.
Bounce Man is
Yeah, Bounce
trash.
Man too.
Trash.
Bounce Man is trash.
Yes, Gear 4 did not get my attention until he
Compared
turned
to Gear Two, I got Gear Two over Bounce Man.
Over Bounce.
Bounce.
The way this nigga was moving, this nigga would stand up, pulsate his leg, and then disappear. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
what?
Like you are tripping. Gear 2 actually had emotion behind it. Gear 2 actually had a purpose behind it.
Put his shit on the ground. Let that, you know what I'm saying? The little movement of me.
Look, this nigga, I'm about to go watch the first Luffy versus Lucci fight because I still get, if we talk about One Piece chills, I still get chills from that fucking fight.
That shit get
Bounce
I
Man
like
is
Keith
elite.
Okay, Bomba, go
He's not
ahead.
having it.
End us off, cuz.
So my pick, which Kenny tried to shit on, is actually Gear Two. And hear
Super
me
Saiyan
out.
2.
I feel like
Gear
most
2?
iconic.
Super
Huh?
Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 2. You said Gear 2.
Okay, yeah. Most iconic, I feel like it's easily Super Saiyan, but I'm trying to think of impactful, and I think that Super Saiyan 2 to me, that was that because for the longest throughout the whole story, yeah, they said nah. For the longest throughout the whole story, like you got the build up to Super Saiyan. You feel me? It's legendary. It's a form that's never been attained. So I feel like once we get introduced to Super Saiyan, even with the introduction of Trunks and the return of Goku, You're just thinking that maybe you just push this form a little more, or like you get stronger. We never had that concept of Super Saiyan 2. You feel me? Like even when Goku is thinking, oh, Gohan has more, we are not thinking Super Saiyan 2. You feel me? Like there didn't seem to be that second level. So I feel like just the build up and the mystery around it, and then it actually breaks out versus Cell, opening us up to the idea of more forms, more transformation, to where when we even immediately meet Super Saiyan 3, now we start conceptualizing like, oh, what's next? How would this next form look? And then even you get Super Saiyan 4, then you start thinking about other things. I feel like all of that start with Super Saiyan 2, introducing you to the next power level, like aspect, and also the emotion that it takes to actually, like the whole I mean, not super, the whole Saiyan nature, how emotion really drives them. This was the first hybrid we got. You feel me? One of the first hybrid we got, and then his power had the chance to grow, and then now you have this new form. What more is there to the Saiyans? Like, all those questions. I feel like that's when it started happening, and then from that point on, it unfolded naturally.
And then I agree with your point, because one thing you got to remember in that whole Cell saga, we were getting teased like a bitch, dog. Like, cause one thing they had mentioned it, Goku and Vegeta both mentioned it in separate times. Like, there has to be a way to go a level beyond. And then the first tease was when they confronted semi-perfect Cell, and we got Super Vegeta, cold form, by the way. I still hate that he had to get his ass whooped by Perfect Cell, but when he became Super Vegeta, he that nigga was cold. You couldn't tell that nigga shit. And then even Trunks' power up, but they're also figuring out and getting the explanation on why just bulking up like that was not going to do the job. Because you even Cell said your strength is unimaginable. Like, you could probably hang with me as far as the strength, but you are slow as fuck and you are never going to touch me. You feel me? And then fast forward, it's also crazy that you think of the potential of Gohan. He went Super Saiyan, then achieved Super Saiyan 2 in a short amount of time, like a very short amount of time. Like, it took him getting pushed to the edge to finally perfect it, but he became a first unlocked Super Saiyan in the hyperbolic time chamber. You feel me? And then he got to a point to where, like, Goku's had Super Saiyan for a while, but Goku didn't even, feel me, he didn't even have the idea to stay in Super Saiyan to train their stamina until that point, to where he had Gohan doing it at his age. And then fast forward, now he got Super Saiyan 2 and he did it right. Like, I definitely understand everything that you're saying.
Just think about to that point that you burnt, because I wasn't even thinking of it, but like now when you said, I'm just like, when we were first seeing Super Saiyan, the natural progression is just buffer niggas. But like literally as it's happening, Goku is like, something not right. Like, he telling Gohan, like, they just sitting, like, the fight is happening outside, but it's just like, yeah, I can do that too. You're like, whoa, this nigga had the next form. No, the next form is had by that nigga that's not even talking in this room right now. He's over there. That's the strongest nigga now.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts. I just don't like how they gave it to Cell in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They nerfed it so fast. Cell just came back. Same electricity.
Facts.
He said,
goodness.
And that, oh my God. Niggas brought up Cell. Niggas brought up the electricity. Do I have permission to ask one more question, bro? Because I feel like I have to ask it.
Let's go.
Everybody always says that Broly and Gohan are the ones with the most potential. Who do y'all believe has more potential, Broly or Cell?
Broly or Cell?
Broly or Cell?
Gotta go Broly, man.
You gotta go Broly.
Yeah, because I feel like I can think that Cell, like, his growth is gonna be crazy, but I feel like Cell was built with a ceiling. You feel me? Like, from his creation, there is a certain power level that he could have achieved by following these steps, which is absorbing the android and everything. So the only thing that he really got was just something that his Saiyan nature allowed him to have, which is the Zenkai boost, which filled up that little gap for him to go from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2. But like, in terms of like strength, I feel like that was just already his ceiling.
See,
but for Broly, Huh?
No, I was thinking because like we know Cell, he's supposed to have the cells of all the strongest fighters on Earth. So you don't think if he trained, he'd be able to build on that power?
I think he would like Black Frieza or like Golden Frieza. I think he'll
Because
do the
it's
same
like
thing.
not only does he have Saiyan cells and the ability to have Zenkai boost, and then also if he gets beat to a pulp and survive, come back stronger from that. But he also has the potential in the Namekian, their weird powers that they got, and he can regenerate. But then he also has I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if he
Not even
trained,
ask the question because that's we thinking that might bring us closer to the answer.
because that's the reason I asked it, because we all know Broly. We all know that he had the crazy super high unheard of power level when he was a baby. You feel me? And then built to what he was now. Like Canon Broly was boxing with with God Vegeta and God Goku before he even went berserk and became the
Right.
legendary Super Saiyan in that movie. You feel me? I understand all that, but I'm thinking like Cell is so much that's added to his being. I feel like if he trained, he has to be OD. You feel me? Like there has to be something there.
The only reason I feel like that's the thing too. It's hard to imagine it because they didn't do it. Because for somebody like Frieza, even if he's in hell, he's talking about his mental training. I mean, his
Mm.
mental training. But with Cell, it's just like he's the strongest, has time to train, doesn't train. You know what I'm saying? With the Cell saga and everything. But Broly, the reason why I'm going Broly, like, because we're talking about Super Broly at this point. That man literally within one fight went from getting his ass whooped to whooping the nigga that was whooping his ass, the nigga's friend that was sitting on the
Mhm.
sideline whooping his ass, and then the golden nigga that's the emperor, I whooped his ass. And then I tried to fight an angel, and then when these two niggas fuse, that's when we're able to, oh yeah, that's a fight now. And then this nigga goes Super Saiyan and it's too much. But literally at their strongest, I go from not being able to tussle to whooping their ass. Like literally within like maybe 15 minutes.
Right.
Okay, I understand that. Maybe it was a stupid question.
I'm dead. No, it's not a stupid question. It's a good one.
Vert, Kenny, y'all got any thoughts on that before I end it off?
Uh, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like we haven't seen a super perfect Cell in a super timeline with that type of new writing at the end of the day. Like I feel like we haven't seen this. We haven't even seen Cell rage. I don't even know what Cell with rage would look like with a Zenkai boost with those type of power upgrades. So I think I ain't gonna lie. I think they could he could definitely go toe to toe with Broly. I mean Broly, but I don't know, bro. I feel like we need to see Cell get mad. Like Super Perfect Cell was so calm and collected. Like we never
Facts.
seen him get angry for real. So
Facts.
I think
It-
with that
You
we could
think
see
you
that.
think that Berserk, for example, super perfect cell will be stronger than Cell Max?
I I think we could see that because if Cell Max looks like he looked like semi perfect, what would a perfect Cell look like? A super perfect Cell Max will probably be insane, Black Frieza type level. Like
Facts. So I think we can leave it on. You feel me? Like I think is more obvious potential, it would have to go to Broly, but if Cell really trained, like the possibilities could be endless for him. But it wouldn't be as fast as Broly. Like Broly's potential is like speeding at this point. You feel me? Like, but Cell's probably would take a little bit more time for him to become OD.
We about to get it. A super Cell. Like he's gonna fuse with Cell and Cell Max. There you go.
Facts.
Next plot
that'd be
of
crazy.
super.
I'm dead. Kenny, you got any thoughts on there? You good? Are you muted?
We can't hear you, buddy.
Can't hear you, Kenny.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
My fault. I feel like I came to the right answer, but because I feel like Broly's floor is way higher than Cell's.
Ceiling.
His floor,
Oh.
like his
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
where he started at is way higher than what Cell starts at. Like damn near newborn baby Broly is damn near beating fresh out the egg Cell.
Not damn
Mm.
near. He's killing that man.
That's what I was
I was
saying.
about to say he's
That's
Cell in
Absolutely.
his Cell in every form up to perfect is getting demolished.
that's what I'm saying. And we got to think about like Broly doesn't even have no real training. He doesn't have any Zenkai boost. So you start giving him a hyperbolic time chamber, some Zenkai boost. Bruh.
This nigga's he is getting trained by Whis too. Oh no, he might.
He's gonna pass Goku and Vegeta quick, easy.
Yeah. We'll see, because like we said in this right now, all 5 characters at the same power level, which is crazy.
But I feel like for him, you even got to think though. At the same power level, he the only nigga with restrictions to be at the same power level because they don't want this nigga to go.
You're right.
That man Broly ain't never tasted a Zensu bean before.
It's over with.
I'm dead.
Middle of the fight, that boy get a sensu bean.
Facts.
End of the story.
Well, man, this was a great conversation. Bro, it's always great to talk about Dragon Ball. It's my favorite thing to talk about, you feel me? But again, for everybody that's watching us on live, if you are still with us, whether that be Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, we'll see you after the 25th. We appreciate y'all for staying with us. For those watching, this episode after it went live is going to be posted on YouTube and things of that nature. For any of the questions that we asked tonight, if you have answers, make sure you comment those below. Let us know your favorite characters. Let us know your favorite story arcs, transformations, who you want to see, elevated in the future. What more you want to see from Dragon Ball Z series, and then your own personal experience with Dragon Ball. We want to appreciate, again, Vert, for joining us for this very special episode. We definitely want to have you back because, again, we know you like sports. We know you do music. We talk about those things as well. This episode was specifically centered around Dragon Ball, but usually we do 3 segments a night, one for sports, one for anime, one for media entertainment. So we would love to have you back.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
If you want to be on 1, 2, or if you want to be with us on all 3, just let us know. We would love to work with you again, man. If you could tell the viewers one more time where they can find you at, your platforms and all that.
Hey, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. That was an amazing conversation. This just made my whole life. I ain't gonna lie. We can always talk about Dragon Ball forever. The conversation don't ever have to end. But everybody can follow me at One Vert Willer on Discord, Twitch, TikTok, everywhere. For sure. One Vert Willer. Follow me everywhere. Go play that GUI right now. Apple Music too.
Hey, follow that man everywhere. Make sure y'all support him. And conversationalists, y'all already know what it is with us. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you tell your families. All your homies that don't watch anime, they know what Dragon Ball Z is. Make sure you direct them to this episode. And last but not least, I know my grandma knew about Dragon Ball Z. Hopefully y'all grandmas do. Make sure you send this to your grandma, man, and we out of here.
You don't know about Dragon Ball Z, she gonna learn about these balls.
Oh my God. My mouth's not working. Fuck.